Hey guys, how's it going? So, it's been about a month since I streamed. Like, it's been a hot second. Basically, just a quick explanation. I know I was only streaming about weekends before, but my health wasn't very good. I unfortunately had to leave my job. It turned out that I was having really, really bad breathing issues, and we couldn't pin down what they were. And finally, I went to see an allergist, and it turns out I'm allergic to trees. And I worked in like a specialty lumber warehouse, and so it was to the point that like my lungs were just inflamed all the time. I was just not feeling well, and I just never had any energy. So right now I'm trying to figure out what I'm gonna do. I'm looking at getting back into school, whatnot. I haven't quite figured out life yet, but for today, I thought we could finally get back into streaming with some Genshin 3.5. So earlier this week, I think it was on like Tuesday night, the 3.5 patch came out. I'd like to start out by pulling Dehya. I've actually heard, so I think based on the test run, the kit's actually pretty fun. I'm assuming that it's probably based on numbers. People have said that the kit isn't very good. But Dehya's kind of the character like Yai Miko for me that I knew from the very start of Sumeru I would probably eventually pull her. So I'm still probably going to do so. I've looked at some of the other character kind of leaks that aren't guaranteed yet that might come out before the end of Sumeru into like Fontaine. We obviously have like Cave, I think is how you pronounce it. I've heard Baiju's coming out. I think I just saw a leak for another 5-star just a couple days ago, but I never know what's going on. And honestly, aside from Dehya, the only other thing I'm planning on pulling before the end of Sumeru as of right now is I'm looking to get Song of Broken Pines if the Eula rerun ever comes out, because it looks like that got delayed. Because somehow, you know, after all this time, like, I think it's been around like 2 years of me playing this game, I still don't have a 5-star Claymore. I don't have Skyward Pride, and I don't have Wolf's Gravestone. And honestly, I don't use another Greatsword character enough to end up wishing for one. And I probably won't roll for Dehya's Greatsword either, to be honest. But I kind of like her kit. I like the idea that she can build, so what I've seen is people are generally going like an HP, Tenacity of the Millilith, almost like support tank build. But you can definitely go Crimson Witch as well if you want to do a main DPS build. I generally prefer to, and I think she's one of the characters that can do this with her E. I generally prefer to build characters for off-field DPS because I think it just makes them more versatile. It's part of the reason why I think like the Raiden Shogun, in addition to just being a really good battery, ends up being really good. But what does he? Other than that though, I'm still thinking about other things I could stream. I've considered like Arknights. I was correct actually. This is, I mean today's about the 2nd? No, it's the 4th. Wow, time flies. But at the beginning of this month, there was not a new monthly squad introduced, which does mean, I mean, they actually made it so in IS2 you can go back now and play all of the other squads. So that does make me think that we have less than like a month or two until IS3 comes out. Currently we're doing like the, I think it was Desolis rerun, like the original Chalter event. And it's the event where you get Tequila as a welfare unit. Beyond that, I think the Texas the Omertosa event's like the end of April. Really looking forward to that. I don't know what's going on though. People have been talking about it in the community, but they still haven't released the banner for Dorothy. And I think there's an event that's supposed to come with that, and that was supposed to show up before like the Gabio Altar event, which was like a while ago now, so who knows. But what does he? Anyway, figured we could just get into wishing. I do believe I won my last 50-50. Did I wish beyond? I didn't think I had any pity. Apparently, oh, okay, it was probably just my leftover pity from that. So we're at 5 pity, it looks like, right now. That's not too bad. Means that we can just do 10 pulls, because usually I start doing single pulls around 75. I must have just done 10 pulls. Wait, no, I didn't win my 50-50 on Yelan. I lost, and then the second one came early. That's what happened. Either way, we'll have to see. I did pull C1 Yelan and Aqua Simulacra. I was just going to do one pull on her weapon banner and end up getting it, which was really, really lucky. Because I know on Homa and Miko's banner, and I think Engulfing Lightning I had pretty bad luck. But either way, I'm going to stop talking. Let's get into the wish. And then we'll do the 3.5 story. Beyond that, I am hoping for some Kali constellations, actually. But beyond that, oh, nice. I think, so Windbloom, the Windbloom rerun event is back out. I haven't done anything beyond, like, I accidentally walked into the first conversation, because I don't know if it's just me, but especially now that, like, Genius Invocation TCG is in Mondstadt, Or at least like the cat's tail bar for it is in Mondstadt. I usually do like most of my stuff in Mondstadt, even though I have my daily set to be in Sumeru. So I walked straight in and accidentally started it. But we have that, and then there's a new story quest for Dehya. I still haven't finished my Alhaitham one and my Faruzan one. I'll probably just finish this one off stream, to be honest. I just haven't had time. Like, I haven't even farmed Dehya's mats at all. So we won't be using her probably this stream or maybe next couple streams, but I'll work on that as well. Bennett. I really just... Bennett's the only character that I think would really benefit from this, but I don't actually have a huge problem with C6ing my Bennett. I just haven't done it because I'm afraid that... It's weird, because I've been looking up, like, people talking about this and how much it affects. Certain characters it doesn't affect, certain characters it helps, certain characters it hurts. Because characters that I use a lot, like, say Raiden Shogun, automatically override their elemental damage. So that doesn't really matter. But then characters like Eula, who I use a lot, are actually really negatively affected by it because you want like a physical damage goblet, her ult's physical damage. That's, I think, early 5-star. I think we've only done 4 or 5 temples. But I was really surprised they put Dehya on the standard banner. Seemed really, really strange. To see if we win. We did not win 50-50. That's fine. I've saved up a good number of wishes. Hopefully... Yeah, so I don't think Eula reruns in 3.6, so we'll have to see. But I'm wondering... I've lost like my last 4 50-50s now. But I'm at C3 Kaching. The character from Standard Banner, I think I've talked about this before, that I've definitely lost my 50-50 to the most is Jean. But it's hard to say, because I'm still confused why they didn't choose to add a Geo character to the Standard Banner. Not only like did they add a character so anticipated as Dehya, but it's another Pyro Claymore. And there were only another, what, like, there's 7 characters on Standard Banner now? But the problem is, I don't wish that often anymore. Like, and so getting a Standard Banner character then means not only do you have a 50-50 chance of getting a Standard Banner character, but then it's a 1 out of 7 chance that you get Dehya. So, if you're lucky, like, I got Tainari, literally the banner after he was added that I was rolling. I believe it was the Nahida banner, because I lost 50-50 and got the 1 in 6 chance that it was the one I didn't have. But it's just not guaranteed. Either way, we'll see. Even if we lost 50-50 there, it was early, I'm pretty sure, by like 10 or 20 wishes. I wasn't counting. But I'm a big fan of her kit. I don't really have a good weapon for her either. I was thinking about that. I've heard Sacrificial Greatsword isn't the best for her. But that's like one of the claymores I've raised. I have Snow Tomb Star Silver for Eula, but Dehya isn't a physical damage carry. So I'm really not sure how this is gonna go. Yeah, this isn't a very lucky banner for me. That's okay. I really, really like Dehya's character design. Like I was saying, she was like Miko, where a lot of people ended up, I know, not rolling on Miko, because Miko's kit ended up not being the greatest. But I knew from the very start, oh, she was the first pull in that banner. I knew from the very start that I was probably going to pull on Miko, and I still use her. My account's at the point where I usually don't have a problem doing Spiral Abyss, so I'm not too worried about it. Oh, and we have a standard banner wish. I have no idea what my standard banner pity is at. Oh, I have the 5 monthly wishes too. I know I'm nowhere near close to 5-star pity. Got a Toma. Anyway. But we'll see. I probably will just build Tenacity of the Millith on her. I've been farming for such an absurdly long time trying to replace my Eula's artifacts. Because for forever, she's been on 2-piece Gladiators, 2-piece Pale Flame, and I want her to be 4-piece Pale Flame. The problem is, I have to replace these 3 pieces. This helmet isn't very good. This is probably the most replaceable one. I've gotten like 2 crit damage helmets in like 5 months that are from Pale Flame. I don't know how that's happened. Why do I have Pale Flame on? Oh, I think I just threw an EM helmet on Nahida. The Goblet. The problem is, yeah, like I need to replace 2 of these 3 pieces, and most of her crit rate right now is on her feather and her goblet. And then this, like I said, is pretty replaceable. So I think... And her overall crit rate isn't that good. 54% isn't ideal. Her crit damage is okay. If I get Song of Broken Pines, that goes up as well. Unless it's a physical damage sword. I thought it was crit damage, but I could be wrong. It's been a while since I've looked at that sword. I just know I'd really like Eula's signature weapon. Because, I mean, I have the signature weapons now of everyone here except Eula. And then the other main team I have Hu Tao's. I mean, I have Miko's weapon. I was using Elegy for the End for Yelan for a long time, which I actually think works very well, too. But, we'll have to see. This was a really good support bow. This is more for her personal damage. Either way, we just go ahead and get started on the story quest. There we go. Talk to Messenger. So I believe it's somewhere down in the market. So from what I know, I think this is another story surrounding the Abyss Twin, which makes a lot of sense. A lot of times after we get done with like the main stuff in the nation, we get some kind of side story with the Archon quests. Good example is like we had the Archon stuff. I believe it was right after Liyue, but we've also had. I mean, I want to say we met. No, I think we've gotten a part of the Abyss after every single main region. Now that I think about it. But we've also had things like the Chasm and such, which I really don't mind. I've also liked to see some other main areas like Enkanomiya. I am curious if they're going to keep adding like those major sub-areas though to completely different parts of the map, because I don't know how much that affects things like loading time. I'm not super savvy on those types of things, but I do find that interesting. Anyway, I will say C1 Yelan's super nice for exploration. Just those dash skills are to the point that I've considered erasing Sayu, just so that I can run faster.
Who's on a journey to all corners of Teyvat, right?
Mm-hmm. Sure am.
Do you need something from us?
I don't know how long this is, by the way. I don't know if it's multiple parts.
I was worried I wouldn't be able to find you. I have a letter for you, you see. It's from another Outlander.
Didn't they say that
fella,
the...
Let me tell you.
Hold on.
Advantage of a loophole in our mailing system by opting for guaranteed delivery, then filling in the most obscure mailing address I've ever seen.
The one thing that confuses me about that is that almost makes me think, oh yeah, that'd obviously be Ether, or Lumine if you're playing as Ether. The only thing is, didn't they say during the Sumeru storyline, it's been like... oh geez, it's been a few months since we played that too. It's crazy how, like, time flies. But... I thought they said almost like the Abyss Twin wasn't classified as... Or wait, did they say Outlander or... I think I'm just confusing myself, never mind.
Well, we aren't always on the road, so yeah, it's pretty tough to get mail to us unless we happen to go to the post office on a whim.
Outlander. What was the word they used?
What address
Was it
did
like...
that person give you anyway?
never mind.
He just wrote... next to a small, white-haired talking fairy.
And they were willing to deliver that letter?
What? So the address is Paimon?
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, she's pretty
right?
distinctive.
And if I failed to deliver the letter, I'd have been bound by regulation to compensate him. Really, he got me good.
Okay.
I count myself very lucky that I ran into you here. Of course, here it is. All yours.
Come on, Paimon wants to have a look too.
It's Kaya? Okay, so it wasn't... I'm thinking of a different word. That was referred to like the 4 people they mentioned. Not from Teyvat. Huh. That's pretty random. I mean, people have theorized for a long time that Kaya has something to do with the Abyss. Slash, not the Abyss, Conria.
Kaya, huh? So he's here in Sumeru. Now that Paimon thinks about it, Crafty does describe him pretty well.
Yeah. I always love how they just draw in other characters, even to other regions. They constantly give us reasons, like small events, to go back to other regions. We're constantly back in Inazuma, constantly back in Mondstadt and Liyue. But then they bring other characters over to new areas, and you get to see interactions you wouldn't have seen. One of my favorite ones recently was seeing Guy Miko. Well, I guess that wasn't that recently either, but seeing Guy Miko in Sumeru when she like interacted with Layla during the mushroom event where you got to train your own mushrooms. I just think that kind of stuff's really cool.
From what he wrote in the letter, it looks like he didn't think there was much chance of it reaching us.
How long ago
Or
did he
maybe
send
he's
it?
just being sneaky. Do you think he's making this sound like a miracle of fate so that we'd have to go meet up with him? Yeah, you're right. It's always nice to see old friends. The letter says that he hangs out at Jafar Tavern
Every afternoon. How was he just on vacation? How long is Kaya in Sumeru? We know Lisa visited, but she... I guess that was her vacation as well, but she also was a student of the academia. So she had somewhat of a reason to be here. Did Kaya just show up in Sumeru for some reason, for fun? And he's just been staying here every afternoon? It's interesting. I really do wonder, too, if we're ever gonna get, like, a full-on reconciliation between Kaya and D-Luke. They genuinely, to me, don't seem to be on, like, terrible terms. But they're definitely not on great terms. What am I stuck on? Okay, there we go. I remember a while back they had to do, like, a hotfix so that Yelan's dash didn't get stuck on every little thing. Same thing with, like, the alternate dashes and everything. Just funny stuff. You see him get tripped up on, like, one tiny stair.
I'll have something I haven't tried yet, boss.
Sorry, sir. I'm afraid you've already tried every type of liquor we serve.
Was he turning into Venti now?
Oh? Well then, just the bill, please. That's just as well, I suppose. I do have other matters to attend to.
Kaya, you're really here! Paimon half thought you were playing some sort of prank on us.
Hey, Paimon, traveler. Looks like the gods smile upon me after all. And come now, I wouldn't joke about wanting to see my good friends.
Wait a second. You must be here on official business.
Oh yeah,
right?
that's possible too, I
What do you
suppose.
think you're doing, spending every afternoon
He's a cavalry
drinking at the
captain with no
tavern?
cavalry,
You
so
looking for a lecture from Jean?
might as
Not
well
at
just
all.
be a
The
messenger.
acting Grand Master positively
What?
terrifies me. Why would I ever do anything
Yeah.
that might displease her?
I was gonna say, I've been surprised at how many people I've seen across the community across the years really don't like Jean. I actually really do like the character.
The truth is, I'm in Sumeru to learn about the alcohol industry
Oh,
here.
okay.
So despite how it might look, I'm actually at Jafar Tavern for strictly business purposes. Sumeru spices are famous the world over, and it's long been rumored that this fine establishment was where a certain very popular spiced cocktail
Are we
was invented. That's why the knight sent me.
I'm just
the
confused as to
foremost
how this
expert
is
in
the...
alcoholic beverages, to come and
I
see
swear
if
I
it is
heard
as
that this
good
was
as the
another
rumors
Abyss
say.
Twin part.
And?
This seems so random.
So far, so good. I'm already in talks with some spice merchants in Port Ormos about some potential collaboration.
Yeah, that does sound like a great business opportunity. Guess Don Winery and Master Dealer
I can't
would
imagine
make a
shipping
hell of a
resources
deal
from
this one
Sumeru to
too, huh?
Mondstadt's a short process though. Probably
Well,
just do it by
let's not
ship,
get ahead
but...
of ourselves.
I
Whether
keep
this
thinking about
lucrative
traveling through
opportunity
land,
gets
have to go
passed
through
along to
Liyue,
Don Winery or
and
not
probably Dragon's Spine.
depends on how nice I'm feeling.
Hey, using your job to settle personal grievances isn't very knightly, Captain.
This line does just make me wonder, like, how many people from every region have been to, like, Snezhnaya, Fontaine, and Natlan. Which, by the way, I am super excited for Fontaine. I've heard the rumors about, like, the dual Archon thing being based on Sella and Durandal from Honkai Impact 3rd. Which, design-wise, after Yai Sakura, I would say my favorite character design-wise was actually Durandal. And then there have been rumors since, like, the beginning of the game that the Pyro Archon's based on Himeka, which does probably leave the Saritsa to maybe be based on Bronya. I think that would be really, really cool. I'm still unclear, like... It's like an age-old debate now, too. It's kind of funny that a character like Shenhe was released and people still aren't sure. Like, it's... I've been surprised at how divisive people are on whether or not Shenhe's meant to represent Fahua. But
Oh?
that's besides the point.
What makes you say that? Very sharp of you. I wouldn't say I'm familiar, though.
Okay.
I just came here on the sly.
Well, we know,
once,
like, when
and
Diluc
I
was
was
out fighting
very young.
Harbingers, he'd probably bend other nations. Can't imagine he was just picking
Do
fights only in
continue.
Mondstadt.
Do I have to?
Hmm.
When I said we could talk about the old times, digging up my past wasn't exactly what I had in mind.
Yeah.
Well, all right, since you're so interested. Like I said, I was very young then. Dawn Winery had only just taken me in. I overheard my adoptive father talk about sending a team of merchants to Sumeru during a business meeting.
Oh, okay.
I'm sure you'll agree
That does make me
that
sense.
everyone's curious about
I
my
wonder how
roots on
involved he
some
was in
level.
like Dawn Winery's
And my
business
roots?
when he was
They're in
younger.
Conria. And so I stowed myself away amidst the cargo and
Oh.
silently joined the merchant delegation on their trip to Sumeru. But it wasn't long before the merchant delegation received news that I'd gone missing. Their leader promptly found me, and before I knew it, my adoptive father was dragging me back home by the ear.
I mean, it's like the
It was a
logic of
short-lived
once you're
adventure.
already on a ship that's halfway to
Sorry I don't have a
Sumeru,
more
what are they gonna
thrilling
do?
story
You
for
know?
Honestly, not much. The only reason I knew that Conria was near Sumeru is because I happened to read that in a book when I was young.
Okay, there he is. I was
My
like,
life had
I
less
swear
and
this
less
had to do
with
something with it.
Conria as I grew up, and so I started caring less as well.
This
I
really
used to
does
believe
give
that I
some
had inherited
implications,
some
though, that
sort
he
of
really
duty
is linked
from
to
my
it.
father.
I don't know if
Then
that's
I
already
began
been
to
confirmed
wonder,
or anything, but
maybe my father left me in the peaceful land
every
of
time we do
Mondstadt
like a
for no
Genshin
other
story quest or
reason
something like that, I
than
have to remind
simply to
myself
give
of
me
what
a
the lore
happier
actually is,
life.
because I never
A
remember.
happy life sounds
It's kind of
good
the
to me,
downside of getting
course,
patches every like
even
6
if it
weeks,
means
and
being
then
cut off
story even
from
less often than that.
certain things. This is obviously all speculation. Simply put, I'm afraid that I'm not particularly in the know on this topic. These days, my surname, Alberich, is probably the
Oh.
only link to Conria that I
Yeah,
have
so it probably
left.
was confirmed, and I'm just bad memory.
One death afternoon, please, boss.
Oh. I wonder if they know each other, or if he's just popping in the way he always does.
Tell me, what do you know about the significance of that name, Alberich?
Huh.
Dainsleif?
Ah, you've decided to join us. I was wondering how long you planned on listening in.
Huh.
I believe I've seen you before in Mondstadt. Dainsleif, if I'm not mistaken.
So you remember me. Then we are already acquainted. Kaya Alberich,
Oh.
descendant of the Abyss Order's founder.
That's not what I thought was going to be said. He doesn't seem to have known that either.
What?
I take it that you weren't aware of this until now, Kaya. Or you wouldn't have been so forthcoming with your surname.
I mean, what's he going to do? Use a fake last name?
It's quite a lot of baggage for a surname.
He doesn't care.
Though I must say, it does confirm an old suspicion of mine. I suppose that was why my father left me in Mondstadt after all.
I'm surprised that you take me at my word without the faintest hint of skepticism.
Look at that face. Does that seem
Well,
like the
perhaps
face of
what you
someone who
told
would
me
lie to
just
you?
happens to answer some questions I carry in my memories. And in any case, I recognize your eyes. You're a pure-blood Conrian, aren't you?
Very clever. Forgive me for being direct, but I sincerely hope this new knowledge doesn't change anything. If you've already let go of your ties to the past, then keep it that way.
Yeah, let me just show up, drop a huge truth bomb on you about your family name that you don't know a whole lot about, and then just leave. Yeah,
Hey,
just
hold
forget
on
about
now.
it.
This
Good
conversation's
logic,
taken
Dane.
a rather sudden turn for the deadly serious. And I'm afraid that as someone from Mondstadt, I'm not accustomed to this sort of atmosphere. So what if I know my ancestry? Do I strike you as the type who would be bound by that kind of thing?
To be honest,
I'll
at
be
first
just as
glance,
delighted
no,
to
but
hunt
after
down the
knowing
Abyss Order
Kaya,
tomorrow
kind
as
of.
I have always been.
I don't know. To me, this type of thing in games always just seems like the whole nature versus nurture thing. And, I mean, it's honestly, like, I don't know if I've ever mentioned this on stream. There's a lot that I can never remember, but as someone who's adopted, strangely, I'm in kind of a similar position. I'd be in that same line of thought, though, like, he's with Mondstadt now. Doesn't bother him a whole lot.
Either way, looks like we're out of time. I've
But
got
that
a
might not be
spice
the way they
merchant
choose
to
to
meet
write
in a
him.
minute, so I'll leave the three of you to carry on the conversation without me.
Well, alright then. You go do your thing, Kaya.
Yep.
See you around. And Dainsleif, No need to listen in from the sidelines next time we meet. Let me buy you a drink.
It's just even the voice actor. I don't know if the other languages do a good job like that, but just Kaya sounds so shady. Not in a bad way, just more like a schemer. Yeah, Mika's voice actor does
I
this.
still do not know him well.
I see it a little bit in like
meaningless
Ningguang
for me
too.
to jump to conclusions. But can a person truly be unaffected by their ancestry? This remains to be seen.
I thought myself that would be wild. Turns out Kaya's a distant descendant of Aether.
Well,
I don't think that's the
suspect
case,
that
but
they
that'd be
call your
funny.
brother their prince, precisely because there is a succession of sorts.
What's interesting about that is...
He'd be the king, right?
Oh, okay. What's interesting about that is, like, you'd assume in any kind of, like, royal line of succession, if the entire line of royalty dies out, unless the country or land itself then does as well, which the Abyss and Conrad did to some extent, there's got to be someone else in the line to the throne. It could be something like that, but the fact that Kaya exists suggests that doesn't happen. There's all sorts of, like, weird things that I'm wondering right now, but I'm sure it'll be confirmed. I always do this when there's a new storyline. I sit there and wonder what they're talking about and, like, theorize, and then they immediately confirm it, and I feel like an idiot.
To investigate the Loom of Fate. Do you remember that name?
Yeah, the Abyss Order's evil plan. We learned about that back in Mondstadt.
Not new. Not exactly. My memories suffer from erosion.
Okay.
But while I was recovering my health recently, I suddenly remembered something. Your brother.
The Loom
He
of Fate, huh?
mentioned the Loom of Fate back when we traveled together.
Man, I really do wonder, like, if eventually we get, like, a spin-off game or, like, a manga storyline or anything like that, just talking more. And it could just be in the base game. Talking about the actual adventure that the original Traveler had. Because that could be an entire game in and of itself. But nowadays, there's so many games with stuff like this. Arknights has got a really good example in the Casimir's events. I genuinely think if they wanted to, they could do the events from, like, Near Light, the Maria Neural event, and then... I can't remember the names of them, but the three events there, they could make an entire game, like, RPG out of it, and it'd be awesome.
Apparently
Likely won't
so.
happen, but I just sit there and wonder.
I was also quite surprised when these memories tallied up. I recall that we were traveling to Sumeru when the matter was brought up.
So, you're going to the place that he mentioned back then?
But you just wonder, like, who was the Tianquan back when he visited Liyue?
Correct.
You'd
At
assume
that
certain
time,
characters
they
like the
must have been
Archons were largely the
introduced
same,
in
but
one way or another
I
to
don't know.
this concept. If I recall correctly, we were somewhere in a Vidya forest then.
Well, what are we waiting for? Let's go! Maybe we'll discover some secret that's lain hidden for hundreds of years!
No. Now is
Oh.
not the time. No, it's just... I'm still waiting for my drink.
oh my gosh.
Seriously?
Jeez. Man, I still haven't even explored most of the new desert part of Sumeru. I still just think it's hilarious how we were told so long ago, like, yeah, landmass-wise, Liyue was the biggest. And then we end up with Sumeru. Yeah, I'm 11% exploration. I haven't even gone to these new domains. I think there's a new artifact domain, actually, if I'm not mistaken, too. I could be wrong. Maybe I'm wrong. Anyways, though, one thing I do gotta say, too, is when people say characters like Dehya are gonna be really bad, they could be correct. But people said the same thing about, like, Kokomi, and Kokomi, with time, and the introduction of certain enemies, like, during times when the shielding isn't as good, which I know the Bleeding Wolf enemies did get nerfed, but stuff like that, like, different characters are always going to fall in and out of the meta. I think it's good to have, like, a really solid team. Like, I think if anyone I knew started playing Genshin today, obviously you can't choose what limited banners are going to come up. But if I had to tell them, like, what characters I'd suggest, I would genuinely tell them. I would suggest you get Zhongli. I would suggest you look for, like, really, really good sub-DPSs, like Yelan or the Shogun. And then I would suggest you get, like, a really good main DPS, whether that be, like, Hu Tao I've heard Altatham actually ended up being pretty good. But like Hu Tao would be one that I'd suggest. I would suggest Eula, Zhao if that's your playstyle. Like, I'm just curious to see how Dehya will age. Because certain characters didn't age well. And certain characters did fine. Like, I don't know how many people still play Ito. But I know there was a whole lot of hype around his like defense build when he came out. And I don't see a whole lot of people using him anymore. But what to see. Anyway, this seems like a random place.
Wait. This place, it's...
I do wonder when they'll make Dane playable. Like, that surely has to happen. It just might not be until very late in the game's lifespan.
Was it like this hundreds of years ago too?
Yes. The forest has barely changed from how I remember it. There is very little human activity here after all. Let's search the area and see what we can find.
Huh.
Is this a field? It must belong to whoever owns that house over there. But it looks like it's been abandoned for a long time. You could be forgiven for thinking nothing was ever grown here. Or, wait.
Don't worry, Dane's playing in the dirt. He's found something. What's interesting is usually when it comes to the Abyss, we're somewhere like underground. Or in like a domain. This seems almost like too sunny of an area to be for this type of questline.
They put it out carefully to prevent a forest fire too. That's responsible.
Nothing else stands out in this area. All that's left is that building. Come on.
Wait, we're just gonna go barging in? What if someone's home?
Then we apologize.
Unlike
It's always easier to ask for
signs of
forgiveness
life in this area,
than
we should
permission.
be able to enter without incident.
I shouldn't say that.
If you say so. Well, you lead the way then, Dane.
Oh, I definitely did just take a ton of damage when I hit the ground there. Anyway. That counts as a door?
There really isn't anyone home. Hey, look! It's a bowl! Guess whoever used to live here liked to cook, huh?
Isn't it like a mortar and pestle for
Can't
like
you smell
herbs?
it? There's
Yeah.
a heavy scent of medicinal herbs in here.
Oh, so it's a medicine bowl? Seems you're right. You've got a good nose on you, Dane. There's a box over here. Why don't we open it? And by we, Paimon means you. Paimon's just scared that whatever's inside might bite her fingertips off.
What's the worst that could happen?
Huh? This is
It's a shattered
a
mirror, huh?
It's broken too.
That's
Was
interesting.
this a makeup box?
Just broken.
That's kinda disappointing. Paimon was hoping we'd uncover
Well.
some super big secret.
Just because you have a
Especially
potential
after
lead
Dane
doesn't mean
hacked
it'll
this
lead
place
anywhere.
up.
Seems like it's just, the home of someone.
This bed looks pretty ordinary. Huh. There's nothing underneath it either. What sort of person would want to live here? It's so dark and damp. Can't be all that comfortable.
Maybe someone who's like very reclusive.
Doesn't look like there's
Sumeru in
anything else
general,
worth their
unless you live
attention
in the main
here.
city, seems to be a
You sure
pretty
we're in the
isolated
right
place.
Dane?
Though I guess the same could be said like about the outskirts
My
of Lila.
memories are quite foggy, but my
Yeah.
subconscious and instincts both assert that something once happened here.
Oh, okay.
But we'll exhaust ourselves if we search aimlessly. I hear noises outside. Let's go and check.
Noises? Is it?
It's not much. Just some minor adversaries.
When you say minor, just walk outside and it's like the biggest enemy you've ever seen. Oh, it's slimes.
Monsters? Wow. Dane's ears are sharp, just like his nose. Surprisingly good shape for
I gotta say though, generally speaking, I think C2 Yelan was supposed to be a bigger upgrade than C1. especially for Aqua Simulacra, because it adds, I believe, that extra attack based on her max HP. C1 Yelan is really, really nice, even in combat. A lot of the times I feel like you do usually only use E once,
monsters was wholly random.
but it's
there
nice.
Must be something nearby that attracted them. A ley line anomaly, perhaps. But it seems to be more than that. Okay. I'll go slightly further out to investigate any
you know, how many
issues
more
with the nearby
Conroy characters we
ley
could
lines.
possibly meet, but I really like
I
the
might
eye
be a
design
while.
of so many characters
You
in this
should wait
game.
for me here.
I've mentioned and I know at the very least unlike
You're
Shenhe.
alone? You better not be trying to keep some secret from us.
Your suspicions are as banal as they are unwarranted. I merely think that this house should remain the focus of our investigation.
Oh, okay.
And as such,
We're on house
someone
sitting
ought to
duty,
stay here and keep an eye on it.
which means
Not
we're
to
gonna
mention
slack
that
off.
Even forest rangers are capable of investigating ley lines. I will be more than able to handle it alone.
Hey, don't insult the forest rangers.
Fair enough. Guess we'll just
Even-
camp out
well.
here then.
Some of them don't even have visions now I think about it. But
There's a fireplace over there.
they'll be fine.
Let's make ourselves something to eat.
I mean, we even
I'll be
saw
dragging
in
around
the
this
R&R
big
quest line
pile
one of
like
them
real
receive a
hungry.
vision after she'd already been one. Which is interesting too, because I think like Knights of Favonius don't all have visions, if I can remember correctly. Members of like the commissions from Inazuma, the Liu Chishin, yeah, like, just interesting stuff. And I mean, there's so many vision wielders that don't even use their visions. Yoimiya, Hu Tao, I think are really good examples. Like, Yoimiya uses it to light fireworks, Hu Tao doesn't almost ever use hers, from what I think so. Oh, we need a pyro character. I mean, I could use a different party. I do think, based on, like, Spiral Abyss and everything, this is probably the strongest team I have. For just pure combat. Oh, there it goes. Although, I guess we could just... yeah, that works. C1 Hu Tao is just such a good character. It's crazy. The problem is you just have to have so much invested to her. Like, without Zhongli, C1 Hu Tao feels terrible to play.
Your cooking is as good as ever.
Hmm.
Even if there was no other reason, the food alone would be enough for Paimon to stick with you.
I always feel a little bad when both of the responses to Paimon are just straight up, like, backhanded statements.
Changing the subject,
Hmm.
Dane's taking forever. He said that there might be an issue with the nearby ley lines. How bad do you think it could be?
I mean, there was, like, the corruption when we first got to Sumeru.
They came together, but
Nothing that I'd imagine
now
he
it's
can't
back to
handle,
just
but
being the two of us
still.
again. You know, now that Paimon mentions it, we really have spent lots and lots of time together, haven't we?
Mhm.
So don't take this the wrong way or anything, but
Aw, that's really wholesome.
do you ever get tired of Paimon being around?
I actually don't. But I can imagine if there was just a third main option, how many people would choose it. Oh wait, that is kind of mean, actually. You're better than nothing. No, we'll say this.
Oh, you stop it! Now you're embarrassing Paimon. So,
I can't imagine though, like,
next question.
traveling
I
the
don't
Seven
know if the kid
Nations,
asked this, but
sometimes for like
Paimon's
month-long
curious.
journeys with nothing but
what
yourself.
was it like traveling with your brother?
I like being alone a lot of time, but I think I'd go insane with nobody to talk to ever.
Stars?
I mean, they did travel across all sorts of planets and everything. Just kind of crazy stuff.
Wow.
Spymon has stars in her eyes.
Yeah. Paimon understands. Being separated without even knowing the reason why. It's just terrible. But
They
those
really
are the
do
truth
foreshadow
then.
maybe that the
Sure,
theory that Paimon's the
you
unknown
know.
god could be
Just
true,
you
don't
wait,
they?
heavenly principles.
I actually do
Are
hope
you
that's not the
too
case, but geez.
You know what? We've talked too long about this sad stuff. Let's talk about something happy instead, because if you're sad, Paimon will be too. Alright. It's getting dark, so why don't you rest? Paimon will take first watch. Don't worry, no monster's gonna come and eat you up. Oh, come on! Don't say that! Paimon just wants to look after you for once. Phew, off to sleep.
This is gonna be where we get one of the classic scenes with Paimon waking us up. We got one with like what? Or I guess it was as we fell asleep with like the original encounter with Scaramouche, but...
Hey, time to wake
Oh,
up.
we did get it. They really like this
Sun has
effect for
risen.
like waking up or falling unconscious or asleep. That's a nice chest. Thank you for that view.
What a deep sleeper. You do know that we need to... Tear stains.
Oh,
You dreamed of your sibling last night, didn't you? All right. Rest here a bit longer then. I'll head into the forest to investigate.
at least he's being considerate. Hey, the traveler got a voice line. It was a yawn. Oh. Yeah, that's a good question. Well, clearly Dane was probably right. There was something more to this place. A special store. Oh, okay, I was gonna go see what that achievement was. Never mind. I mean, we've seen enough with like the alternate worlds with like the R&R quest line. I don't know if alternate worlds is the correct word to use, but it's not that crazy, I guess. We could also be having like a hallucination,
Halt!
like we first saw.
Do you
Maybe seeing a
think
memory or
you're
something.
doing? This place is not whatever you think it is. Nor should you be poking your nose into my business. Begone!
Okay.
Your travel companion. You mean the one
He has the
that was
Connery
keeping
eyes.
watch by your side last night?
That's interesting.
He
What was that laugh?
abandoned
What'd you do?
and Departed for the forest early this morning. That much I saw with my own eyes. What
Yeah, are we just sitting there watching?
business is that of yours? All you need to know is that I claimed this place first, and what I do here is none of your concern. Do I make myself quite clear? Leave.
Yeah.
Well,
It is somewhat random.
what are you waiting for?
Yeah, I think I'm better off waiting here.
If you must, suit yourself.
This person seems kind of unhinged.
Been observing you, and you don't look like a forest ranger, nor someone from the academia. Still, I'm warning you, no funny business. Promise me that, and you can do as you please. Okay, fine, whatever.
I was out here all night, I'm cold.
I'm heading you. Oh, go on then. Have it your way. I know I
Just
wasn't
that
going
smile.
to be able to hide this anyway. Just come in. But no overreacting to anything you see in here, okay? You understand me?
This is the most like I'm gonna walk in and get surprised immediately statement ever.
Come on then.
Relax, I've seen everything there is to see. Nothing can surprise me. Immediately goes inside and freaks out. Oh, okay. Well, to be fair, if this is some kind of like medical professional, weren't this the Hilichurls like former citizens of Conria or something like that? It's been
Mind
too
your
long.
own business.
Oh,
And
okay.
don't worry. He isn't aggressive. How could he be? He was too young for anything like that. So don't you lay a finger on him. Just
Yeah.
find yourself a corner to rest if you're tired or cold. Huh? You
Interesting.
know Conria? Who are you? Exactly? And how do you know I'm
The
from
problem
Conria?
is, I don't know if that's the correct statement to say. I mean, obviously I know for the Genshin story, the choices don't almost ever matter. But... I don't know, what, did we mention Dainsleif? It was definitely the eyes. I didn't even remember what the clothes looked like. I just knew they were distinctive. I guess well, that's what we're going to say, though.
Worship a god, traveler?
Let's say it, like, positively, yeah?
Sounds like you've had an eventful life. All right, well, my name is Ida, and you are correct. I was once Conrian. I apologize for my earlier hostility, but
Yeah.
you must understand, as far as I'm concerned, humans who do not worship the Seven are nigh extinct.
Well,
And all
yeah.
who place faith in the gods are my enemies. That
Really
may
does make
be,
you wonder
but
what
the fact
happened.
is that
Because
chances
I was
to talk
always
to
under the
people like
impression
yourself have been
that something happened in
few
Conria.
and far
And they always
between
talk
since the
about, like,
cataclysm.
the differences between Conria and, like, the Heavenly Principles. And the fact that the Archons are obviously linked to them. But, to some extent, like, what happened? You know, we know, like, Makoto died. And that alone had always just given me the impression that the Archons probably went to help. Or fight, you know, one of the two. And something happened that she lost her life. Just really makes you wonder, though, like, were they going in a way to, like, they went to help the people of Conria and failed, and it resulted in Makoto's death, and, you know, so many people, like the Saritsa shutting herself off, or did they have a mission to go antagonize them in some way?
This
Just so much mystery that's probably going to stay a mystery for a few years.
immortality, who knows how long I must continue to suffer like this? The curse. It was a little gift.
Oh, it's a great present.
Given to the people of Conria by those vile
What I'm wondering
gods.
is how Ida here actually escaped it.
We lost our home, our loved ones, everything. The agony of the cataclysm itself was already too much to bear, but then came the curse, robbing us any chance of release. All we can do
Yeah, I
is
just feel
watch
like it's so unlikely
helplessly
that
as our souls erode
Celestia
in our bodies
in this game is like a good place.
decay.
Despite even the name sounding like a heavenly place like Celestia. Yeah. I'm worried. Because people have talked about what might happen after we visit all 7 nations and everything, but... Yeah.
Because, although Conria began with a single bloodline, it
Oh, okay.
was a home.
I suppose the argument can be made like Kaya's bloodline wasn't cursed and neither was Dane.
Forsook their gods and came to
At least
Conria
as far
were
as being turned
welcomed
into hilly
as
churls.
our fellow citizens.
Hmm.
When the cataclysm came,
Oh, okay.
we pure blood Conrians were declared the greater sinners. Upon us
Oh,
the gods placed
okay.
the curse of immortality.
So the original inhabitants of Conria have the
Those
immortality
whose
curse.
ancestry
Those who
belongs
went
to
from like the 7
domains of
nations to
other
Conria.
gods were punished with the curse
Oh, okay.
of the wilderness as they fled, turning them into monsters.
In all seriousness, I'd initially thought maybe this was his son. But then that would indicate that he'd be of the same bloodline, unless maybe like his mother was from the 7 nations.
He is Kari Bear,
Oh, okay, so it's exactly that.
illegitimate son.
Hmm.
How times have changed.
Okay.
I can say that out loud with no consequence now, but
Jeez.
it was once a matter of unspeakable shame.
Hmm.
I was a noble of Conria. I resented the life that my family had arranged for me.
Hmm.
Then, one day, I met a beautiful woman.
Why is there always
amongst
some
the
from
people.
Mondstadt?
Her roots were in Mondstadt, but that mattered not to me.
Okay.
It was love at first sight. Kari Bear faced great hardship from the very moment of his birth. All due to my selfish desires, and I
He's
was
got the regret from that.
never able to be there by his side for any of it. After all that, he turned into a hilichurl right before my very eyes. I always owed him much, and now at least I can
That's what
finally
I'm
be
wondering.
close to him. She was. We were
Oh, okay.
separated. I do not wish to dwell on it.
Yeah, I was gonna say, like, by that logic, either she was not in Conria maybe when that happened. Like, there's so much that isn't explained here. Like, if it's an illegitimate son, I think that just refers to the fact that he's a noble, and was a child with someone who probably wasn't recognized by, like, his noble lineage. But if it was, like, the lady from Mondstadt that he had had the kid with came to Conria, she would theoretically be a hilichurl as well, which makes me wonder if she had actually passed a long time ago and had stayed in Mondstadt.
It could be worse.
Man, Gitchin
I
really hit you
suffer
with some
the
really
pain of
sad
loss
storylines,
because
just
I
out of nowhere.
Once had everything I could wish for. And now that I have lost almost everything, the little that remains, I see with new clarity. If nothing else, at least I still have Caribert.
Yeah, the problem is, like, even if you're theoretically immortal, I was about to say you can't stay here forever. I guess in theory, but eventually it'll be found.
Yes, that reminds me. I only returned
Also,
here
what was
to
going
check
on? This
Caribert,
clearly
but
wasn't here
I do have other things
when we were just
I
here.
wish to do. You may come with me, if you're so inclined.
Yeah, sure, why not? We clearly don't have anything better to do. It just makes me wonder, because it still says that we're in a special story mode. So, like, what happened? That's not the button I meant to push. Just drop a meteor on Caribert here. It just makes me wonder if we got separated, and like I said, we've seen so many things like this in Sumeru that I wouldn't be surprised if there was some kind of like dream world, memory world, something.
Over here. I'm sure you're wondering why I brought Caribert here to Sumeru.
I don't think it's that
Well,
crazy.
It's because he needs a medicine that can only be made here. One which will help him to recover his clarity of mind.
That almost seems kind of cruel, though. Can you imagine being like a human being transformed into hilichurl for like, what was it, like 500 years since Connery fell? And then all of a sudden you just remember who you were, but you're still in the body of a hilichurl? That too, yeah.
I do not hope to break the curse. I am well aware of my powerlessness against the punishment of the gods.
Well, the Traveler's getting exponentially stronger every
This
nation.
medicine is imbued with the
Maybe we'll take care of it.
power of Sumeru's god of wisdom, and can awaken the mind from a state of deep stupor. It has been used in the past to treat cases of mania.
Didn't this guy just say he didn't treat, like, you're the one who sounds manic, but didn't he just say he didn't trust anything from, like, those who worship the gods of the Seven? Now he's trying to use a medicine from, well, you assume it's either Kusanali or Ruka Devata. Interesting.
I believe that it might.
I suppose when you
work.
get to a point where you have to find something, you know?
I read about it in a book. From the Royal Library of Conria.
The voice actor seems so into this role. I can appreciate that.
I mean, since this medicine requires the power of the Seven to work. In my youth, I disliked the life of nobility and craved excitement. I was leafing through some forbidden text and happened upon it.
It does sound pretty dangerous.
What other choice do I have? What
Yeah.
exactly would you have me do? The gods have already punished us. What does one more sin matter?
I do
now?
get it, the feeling that you have to try something no matter what, but there also comes a point where maybe... Nah, I'm not gonna say it, that's kind of...
Never mind.
Never mind.
As long as you understand. I'm sorry.
Yeah, that's fair.
I struggle to take control of my mood sometimes. Perhaps a consequence of having.
I mean, I
lived
always
too long.
talk about this when the discussion comes up. I would not want to be immortal.
I am in
Sounds like a
dire
terrible
need of
gig.
help to make this medicine. My hands don't have the dexterity they once did.
Oh, okay.
I fear they may be decaying from within.
It's interesting to hear these types of things, though, because Dane doesn't seem to be affected by those types of things. Although he's not one to show it.
To start with, take this ingredient.
Oh, it looks like the mushroom he used to ascend like Nahida, but a different color.
Also, do you have any of Sumeru's regional specialties on hand? I believe they're called Kalpalata lotuses and Sumeru roses.
What if we didn't have any? I mean, by this point, I think it'd just be funny if you had 0.
Wonderful. Oh, in that case, we have everything we need. This is the method for making the medicine. You just need to follow the steps.
Okay, just a crafting table recipe. Okay, so we might have had to go pick some if we didn't have a singular one. Interesting. Forgot I could make these. I have not explored like anywhere even close to having all the dendroculuses. I would have been a lot more invested in it if it gave you extra max stamina, but I don't think it does. I have some materials I know I need to farm. I need to farm more of these. I was leveling up some of my weapons, actually.
Is it done? Splendid. Let me see.
Can I just say something about this dialogue, and I think it is just the fact that Paimon isn't here just feels a lot
In
emptier.
all
Like the dead
honesty,
space between
I do
sentences,
not know what the end product is supposed
and
to
like the
look
lack of
like.
music.
The banned book didn't feature any illustrations.
If it doesn't work, it's not our fault.
The moment has finally arrived. Curses. No! We need to perform one final step to complete the medicine. I said before that this medicine relies on the power of the God of Wisdom for its
I mean, I can put
restorative
Nahida
effects.
in my party. Is that what you want?
Which means we
Oh.
must pay a visit to a statue of the Seven.
Hey, dude, I understand. If you want us to just go run there and back, we can teleport. Like, yeah. I actually do think Nahida would be likely to help. It's just funny, like, I would say,
Let's go.
like, of the gods,
Bring the
Venti and
medicine with
Nahida,
you.
if they were in a situation like this, would probably help. Zhongli would probably help, but he'd go on about an hour-long monologue. Oh, you can't just teleport over there. And I feel like A might not. Oh wait, is this gonna heal my Hu Tao? That would be awkward. The only character I have that I... Oh, yeah, I did.
Statue.
I just heard the sound.
How can I bow before this thing?
You don't
God
have
of
to, just...
wisdom, look at me. I will utter no prayer, nor will I sing your praises.
Can you imagine just walking through the forest in the middle of nowhere? There's just like a statue on the top of a hill, and you just see some insane person shouting at the statue. I get that the people at the vat know, like, that's a statue of the Seven. They might be talking to Nahida, but like, he just starts shouting at the statue.
You and your kind destroyed my home. Wrought unfathomable suffering on my compatriots, yet here I stand before you. You cannot mock me more than fate itself already has.
I would assume she'd help, though.
God of Wisdom, I seek not to disavow myself of the sinful blood that flows through my veins. I wish only to beseech you to have pity upon a young and unfortunate soul, my son, Caribert. He was turned into a monster before he had the chance to witness anything beautiful in this world. This is no fate for a child. If everything the gods have done was in order to have the impious people of Conry bow their heads, then I bow to you now. I have given up all I ever stood for. All I ask is for a tiny miracle. For Caribert to see this world once more. Please, God.
If somehow he has turned back from being a Hilichurl, though, I wonder if he'd still age normally and such. Curses like that in games and anime are so hard to figure out. I don't think it was so much like the Seven, so much as Celestia.
I've made quite enough of a fool of myself for one day. Let's go.
I'm surprised the statue didn't respond, actually. I really thought it would. That's actually... Oh, did it? It says now administer the dose of medicine. If this is not where... Like, the Abyss storylines are always really, really sad, but I just... Not quite what I was expecting. I thought this would be like another journey with Dane. Maybe fighting like some Abyss Lectors or something, not this. If I'm being honest.
Caribert? Well, we've prepared the medicine. We might as well try it. Caribert, it's me. It's your father. Caribert. Caribert, please say something.
Have we ever heard like a Hilichurl speak something that
I'm
wasn't
sorry
like...
I couldn't be at your side when you were born. And that I...
Like, I know we speak to
reach you
Hilichurls in like that one daily
for
from Mondstadt, but other
I'm
than
here
that...
now. Papa's been by your side all these years. I've never left you, not once. Are you still angry with me, Caribert? I know you're awake now. Do you not want to talk to me? I'm so sorry, Caribert. Forgive me. Please, say something, anything.
I had to sneeze.
Please. Please.
I can only imagine. Like, this is actually really heart-wrenching.
Oh, gods above! What more do you want from me? You took everything from here, and I still bowed to you. I'd give you my very life if only you cared to take it. But you won't even let me die. I knew it. I should never have trusted anything that had to do with the gods. I was just deluding myself. The gods of this world have never stood with humanity, not even for a moment.
Yeah, I think there's another reason it didn't work. I really, really, really doubt it's Nahida just saying, sucker, I'm not gonna help. Like, that seems very unlikely to me.
Other reasons? What do you mean?
Yeah, it could be a number of things.
You really think so? Give up? No.
I mean, it's not like most medicines are one and done.
Yes,
you know?
you're right. I cannot let myself wallow in despair. Even if I must stay.
I mean, take the stuff I'm taking for my lung issue. I've been having
50 years,
take it every day.
100.
It's like a special inhaler.
What difference does it make? I do not lack for time.
That's true. Neither does the Traveler, actually. She's practically immortal, apparently, too.
Let's go. we'll make another dose.
Do you have more of the special
The
mushrooms?
most crucial ingredient in this medicine is the unusual mushroom, which makes things complicated.
Yeah.
But not impossible.
I took the regular mushroom and I dyed it red.
I grow them
Oh,
in
okay.
that field.
What's interesting is, again, this really makes me think this is like a memory or something. In which case, like what if we were somehow transported in like a memory from the past? That would make sense to some extent why we couldn't affect it. I mean, I even wonder, what's a crazy thought is like, what if we're seeing the Abyss Twins' memories and maybe they help this person? Because when we were here with Dane and Paimon, they said it was like nothing had ever grown there. Granted, mushrooms grow in different like soil than, say, a normal crop.
Details don't matter, right? Curb your curiosity and just do as I instruct. If you truly wish to help me, that is how you can do it. There is a waterfall near the statue I prayed at. I need you to collect some
Around
water
2 in
from
the
there
afternoon.
around 2 in the afternoon. I'll be here watching Curry Bear. Once you're back, I will make some fertilizer for the mushrooms. Good. Then please head over when the time comes.
Okay. It's 2 in the afternoon, apparently. What's interesting is we can't access events. We can't access the book. We still do that stuff. Granted, you can still, like, wish in the Spiral Abyss, which I've always wondered of what that could possibly affect. Like, I highly, highly doubt someone in the history of ever was, like, in the middle of a Spiral Abyss run, and instead of just backing out, they're like, no, I need to finish it right now. I'm gonna wish for, like, a constellation. Just seems unlikely to me. But I suppose stranger things have happened. This cave over here. That's not the correct button. Where? Oh, there's one up there. I want to say, I really have been a big fan of the way they did Sumeru exploration with these. I hope they add more things into the game, because I still remember the nightmarish days of climbing up every single hill and mountain in Mondstadt and Liwa. Inazuma was just... Much as I like the Inazuma characters, and a lot of what happened like Inazuma, I really liked it, actually. Exploring Inazuma was actually the most miserable thing I'd done in a while.
Ah, you're back. Coribear's condition is stable. By which I mean he still isn't responding.
Great.
Anyway, give me the water. I need you to stand guard here for a while. Whatever you do, don't let any forest rangers approach the house.
Okay.
Understand?
Well, where are you going?
Good. I'll be back soon.
Oh,
The
make the
fertilizer
fertilizer?
won't take but a moment to make.
Why is he able to make fertilizer? Wasn't he saying like the whole decaying from within hands thing, and he needed us to make the medicine? Oh, did he know monsters were gonna show up and he just left? Oh, I forgot I was not running my... Oops. I'm so on autopilot for being in my Raiden Eula team that I definitely switched to 2 to use Raiden-y. Because ordinarily with this team, that's not the combo I do. I usually do like this. I should have started with Zhongli Shield, but... I usually do Zhongli Shield into Kazuha, into Yelan combo, and then I switch to Hutan Burstin. Works pretty well for Spiral Abyss. Definitely not like an optimized team, but...
Was it monsters? Oh, thank goodness you were here. I couldn't have taken them on all by myself. I'd have to hide and wait until they were gone. Oh, yes, I've got the fertilizer. The effects can take some time to kick in, so let's get on with it.
It's not like growing mushrooms is a short process, I'd imagine. mean, I've never done it, but like any plant takes.
Next, we
Never
eat
mind.
mushrooms and repeat the same steps as before to make another dose.
All right, took like 10 seconds. All of a sudden, there's a
Trust you still
mushroom.
Remember the method.
Hmm.
Oh, sorry. I just, after resting in this field for a while, my thoughts began to wander.
Okay.
I have been so very wary for many years. If only I could fall asleep here in this field and never wake up again. I do indeed. That's why it was just a fleeting thought. Thank you for your help once again. And now, for the final step. Back to the statue of the Seven.
Just kind of a weird contrast too, because I was recently reading through like some translations for the Arknights, the Texas the Omertosa, like Syracuse event, and you see like Lapland's father and how terrible that was, and then you go to this.
We're here.
It's like, despite everything that happens, in a way, you know. Oh, is that?
Wait a moment. Hey,
Oh,
what was that? Caribert! Oh no! He must have left while we were too busy preparing the medicine to notice. Come
Huh.
on! We have to catch up with him!
yeah. I have no idea what's going on. He went into that cave. Makes you wonder when like groups of hilly churros flock together. Were they, you know, like members of the same family at some point? What causes like Sama churros or other types of hilly churros to have been formed instead of just regular hilly churros?
That's not Caribert.
Oh, okay.
Right. Caribert's scarf was a gift I once
Okay.
gave to his mother. I use it now as a marker of sorts. My eyes must be going. How could I not recognize my own son? This decrepit body of mine. Yes. It doesn't seem interested in us in the least.
Aren't we
It
currently
seems
trying to like cure Caribert
walking
and
in
figure
that
all this stuff?
direction. Where could it be going?
Sure, it's interesting, but
The more we know about hilly
Okay.
churls, the better.
does make you wonder though, if we ever do like cure the curse on all the hilly churros and they like turn back to humans, they can hold a grudge for the fact that we've murdered like 1 billion. Like in my inventory alone, I have like how many of these for Sama churros? I mean, you sit there and wonder. Okay, I want to try.
Did it go in here?
Oh, is it a domain? Huh.
What a ghastly place.
This is more
Has it
like most of the
always
Abyss quests we've done, though.
existed? I swear I've never noticed it before. Huh. It looks like they're worshipping. Sometimes walking, sometimes kneeling in worship, and it appears to be in earnest. I've never seen anything like this in all my life. What in the world does this place conceal? Oh, there's only one way to find out.
Yeah, I suppose. Yeah, so like thematically, this does remind me much more of. Oh, I definitely just hit that hilly troll, didn't I?
Busted.
Oop. Sorry.
Take it easy.
Anyway. I thought we couldn't hit him because we couldn't hit the one before, but. Oh, that's interesting. Oh, okay.
Is this a teleportation device?
Hey, more traveler voice lines.
What energy is powering it?
Funnily enough, like last week I was rewatching some of the Among Us collabs and stuff. I think they've been doing more and more. They're pretty great. There's a lot of really talented people in the world. I'm not one of them. But there's a lot of really, really talented people in the world. Oh.
Stabilize.
I swear, Jongli. Oh my goodness, I hit the wrong button. The number of times I've done that in the Spiral Abyss and had to reset a floor because I accidentally just started Jongli's pillar. Started climbing it. It's actually just embarrassing. Oh. Dangerous citrus. Yeah, I don't even think my tree's close to level it up either. Like, I really have not explored Sumeru as much. There's been a point at which I went back and got, like, every single Electroculus, you know, done all the Oculi for the other 3 regions, explored just about everything. My Sacred Sakura tree isn't even still upgraded all the way. And I literally combed that area. And then I, like, looked up multiple videos for all the hidden chests and stuff. I have no idea what I'm missing there, but... Like, I've spent a lot of time exploring, I just haven't gotten to that with Sumeru yet.
Solidify.
One with nature.
Part of the reason I don't use my Hu Tao team, though, is a physical damage team, even if there's physical resistance, like my Eula team, will always be able to hit everything. There I didn't want a Hu Tao E at first because there's a Pyro Slime in the middle there. What am I going to do to it? Except use the other, you know, 3. Never mind. Anyway. I have found that in a lot of quests like this, Kazuha does make things easier. A really, really good example is actually the visual part, I think it was, of... What event was it? I just remember it involved, like, Visual Mona. I want to say Jinyon? How do I get up there? Did I miss something? Sometimes the puzzling engine just make me feel real dumb. Don't wanna...
Time to go.
Is there a way to get underneath it? Doesn't look like it. I'm 100% certain I can't get that high with Kazuha E. When we clicked this pedestal and whatever was on it disappeared. I can already feel how long this is going to take me to figure out. And it's going to be something really obvious too. You can't climb in domains. And it really shouldn't be anything that, like, you might be able to cheese with something like Kazuha, but it shouldn't be something that would require Kazuha, because not everybody has Kazuha. Can I just leave? Oh. I mean, I don't know if I was supposed to do that, but...
How did I get on the ceiling?
Oh, okay.
Did the room turn upside down, or gravity itself?
Okay then, I mean... I'll take it. Now we gotta figure out where we're supposed to take these. Don't think it's...
Seems like I need to find a place to insert the rune.
Okay. So now we did find the last rune. The only thing is, wasn't the last rune in... Oh, okay. Oh. I know the point of puzzles is to make something that isn't always immediately obvious, but, like... I'm the type of person that, like... Ugh. The number of times I miss super obvious things in games just makes me sad. Give me like a complex math problem or something like that, I'll be fine. Give me something that's like blatantly obvious and I'll look at it for like 2 hours and then give up. Yeah. Here's the last part. Should be able to just go over there and put that in. I'm really surprised. I'm still wondering if there's multiple parts because it says it's chapter 3 act 6. So that makes me think there's either it's just a singular act or maybe there's an act 7.
Take it easy.
But we had like a short discussion with Kaya and, you know, Dane at the very beginning, and now we don't even have Paimon for this entire time. Instead, it is cool though that kind of in replacement of that we're getting some voice lines for the Traveler, just that small commentary, because we rarely do get that. Oh. Okay. Oh, is it just... Fair enough.
Halt, humans. Fate has not granted you the right to enter this place.
We're about to throw hands, aren't we?
Do you insist on an audience? Very well.
The Trial of Destiny, huh?
The trial of destiny.
I am really glad that this does not look like a Pyro enemy, because seriously, every time I run my Hu Tao team in the overworld and I run into something immune to Pyro, it's just the worst. The Fortune Lector. Decreases the stamina. Oh, that's my favorite thing in the world. Anyway.
Busted.
Fallen leaves, adorn my night.
I
Things are about to get done.
maybe didn't need to use my entire combo on this thing. I will say, in fact, it being cryo is actually really good for us. Zhongli Shirguo. Anyway, wonder if that's gonna show up in the Spiral Abyss.
He was.
Yeah.
He was a perfect being. I'm in awe.
That's not what I was
He had
expecting.
The most wondrous aura, a perilous yet beautiful power. Oh, truly mesmerizing. And yet, you were able to defeat him. Oh, your strength is greater than I had imagined.
Yeah, let's not say that.
Let's continue on.
There's some things
I
that are
find
just...
myself growing more
they're a little
curious
bit
by the
rude,
second
you know?
and more excited.
Take it easy.
And I will say, for like areas that you just go into once, and I'm sure they have to like reuse some assets and stuff with just the amount that it takes to program everything, but even just these small little rooms, I just looked through and I'm like, that is crazy cool. Like, you think about it, people are literally just gonna run straight through here, press the switch and probably move on, but that somebody took the time to program all of this stuff. Super, super cool stuff.
I think we've made it to the end.
Interesting. Yeah. That was actually the first thing that popped in my head when we saw this area, but I didn't know if that's where they were going with it. She's a Grand Thief, huh? Yeah. It's definitely not a good thing. Oh no.
Oh, dear creature, why do you bow down? For fear of the unknown?
Huh. I wonder if we're able to save Ida. Because this is like I was maybe wondering, it's like a memory of the other twin or from the past. I can't imagine that we can.
Creature, why do you bow down? For I am no god. I am but a sinner.
It's still just crazy to me thinking about this entire long journey they're having, like 500 plus years into that, and the fact that the twins have probably been through hundreds of these types of journeys,
nor accept the countless lies.
even if they've never been quite like this. Like most of the time they've been together.
Become a transcendent one. Rise beyond the fate bestowed upon you. And I shall shed a tear at the end of time as I gaze back upon your life.
Your guess is as good as mine, I mean, honestly. I got no clue what's going on. Is he alright?
What just happened? When I saw that thing, my heart was instantly at peace. I was overcome by a sense of
I
awe
don't know if
or-
this is a good or a bad thing.
or joy, perhaps.
You can't tell me that little energy that flowed into Ide right there didn't look evil.
I feel good. In fact, I feel better than I did before I came in here. How peculiar. Oh, is that so? All right. As you wish.
I actually thought he was going to disagree with that statement. I mean, if he's been practically immortal and suffering this entire time, he feels a little bit better in this place. Granted, he does still have, you know, his son to come back to.
Cory Bear. Oh, thank goodness. He's still okay. I have a strange feeling that what just happened was meant to be.
Okay.
For this to happen, right at the moment when I was dreading worshipping at a statue of the Seven, it's as if fate was calling to me. You say that I bowed before that thing, so perhaps it might be just as effective.
It's possible.
I have to try.
If it does
No
work, though,
matter
I
what
also
you
don't know if
said
that's a
it
good or a
yourself,
bad sign.
I have to exhaust all options.
Oh, wonderful. I'm so glad we said that. Genuinely, though, if this works, I don't know if that's a good or a bad implication.
Cory Bear.
Oh. Well, it worked.
Papa?
Cory Bear.
Interesting.
Oh, my goodness, it worked. It's a miracle. Oh, Cory Bear, my dear son.
Yeah, I'm actually
see?
blown away that it worked.
It worked. Cory Bear can speak again.
Where's Mama?
Ah.
Mama is... Cory Bear, look at me. Do you know who I am?
Of course. Your Papa.
Yes. Salvation! Sweet salvation! Yes, yes, this is what this feeling is.
Maybe I'm just reading too much into things, because I'm like worried there's something behind all this that
Are you fully awake now?
makes this not a good thing, but...
It feels like I just woke up from a long, long sleep. I dreamed that I was hiding in a little room. I didn't dare go out the whole time, and I didn't want to either. Wait. My body! What happened
Yeah.
to me?
This is one part that I was worried about.
Is this me? Papa? What's happened to me?
Don't panic,
How do you
son.
explain?
It's just...
Ah.
While you were sleeping, we went into a fairy tale world.
Oh, yeah,
There's
that's a good
no more
one.
Conria here. No more home. But, do you know what that means? No more red sky. No more end of the world. In this world, you have to be a little monster, but you get to stay with Papa forever.
Am I dead?
No, of course not. Look, Cory Bear, you still have Mama's scarf on your arm. That means she's watching over you, protecting you. So how could you be dead?
Really?
It almost sounds like he's trying to convince himself to.
Really? You've only just woken up, and this must all be very confusing for you. Just rest here for now. Things will get better. Oh, and you have to promise me something. Never take off your mask. Understand? Whatever happens, you mustn't take it off.
Okay, Papa. I won't. I promise.
Not since that day have I been so glad as I am now. I can't believe this is really happening.
Makes you just wonder who that voice was, what was going on.
Placing my hope in the Seven was a waste of time. I even worshipped at one of their statues like a common fool. Never before have I humiliated myself like that. Once a murderer, always a murderer. I was naive to think that the gods who conspired against us would ever offer redemption. But the god we saw in that cave, now that was a truly mighty god. Nothing like one of the Seven. That wondrous power, it was truly enchanting. Surely that must.
Yeah, she
have
doesn't
been
seem
the
convinced
reason
either.
I bowed down. Now then, after one beseeches a god, and the god responds by answering their prayers, should they do something to show their devotion? Piety is hardly my area of expertise. But surely I should honor the god that has honored my wishes. A sinner? Oh, don't be absurd. You don't know a single thing about him. How dare you utter such blasphemy?
Even though that's what the voice told us themselves.
Witnessed his divine power. When has the Seven?
I'm pretty sure they've done stuff like that before, but maybe I'm wrong.
Never. He is a god, mightier than they, and yet you would call him a sinner. Oh, preposterous!
That does really align us with the Seven, kind of just
believe what you will.
from what his perspective would be, probably. Kind of crazy.
I am going to pay my respects with or without you.
Oh, this can only go well. Yeah, go ahead. Yeah. 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 Well, back to the cave we go. I just feel bad for the traveler at this point. They're probably just so exhausted dealing with this. It's kind of crazy. It is kind of insane how, like, much it seems to foreshadow, though, that... Like, the real plot twist at this point is that Celestia is actually the good place. Because there's just been so much, like, evidence that makes you really feel like that's not the case. Oh, all the way to the mysterious statue. Do we have to fight our way back in?
Solidify.
Hopefully we don't have to do that puzzle again. I'd be pretty sad. Oh, there wasn't a slime here before.
Quietly now.
The wind knows me.
Interesting. These types of repeating sections actually remind me of Hu Tao's character quest. And you just ran in a big circle on the path to like the It wasn't the afterlife, but like the place where they said like spirits that haven't moved in went to. Oh,
What happened?
huh.
The hilly churl worshippers have disappeared too.
Well, there were slimes in there, not
Was it
hilichurls, on the
all
way
an
there, I
illusion?
suppose.
That's true. Yes, it can't have been an illusion. I still feel that awesome and wondrous power flowing
Well, we
through my
didn't meet
mind
with
and
the
body. It was
whatever
neither
the
illusion
abyss lector
nor
was, whatever they
coincidence,
called it.
and certainly no dream.
So maybe we didn't have the right to an
It was
audience.
wonder. Yes, a divine wonder. Let's go, traveler. There is surely a reason for its disappearance, and I do believe that someday in the future we shall see it.
Yeah.
again.
I'm just gonna say let's just get
Could he
back, but
really
still.
have been a sinner. And
You
not
got so mad at us when we said that, and we were just repeating what we were told. Like, it's crazy. Like, now all of a sudden he's like, oh, could that have been the case?
Kari Bear?
Oh no.
Where has he gone? Oh, no, no, no. Maybe someone else came by and found him? No, no, it can't have been that. There's no sign of a break-in and no sign of anyone having...
Yeah, I
been
really,
here.
really hope it's not because he took off the mask.
This does not bode well. What if he's spotted by a forest ranger or an adventurer in his current state that he...
Yeah.
Wait a minute. This isn't how we left it.
Oh.
Oh no.
Oh.
Did he...
He took off the mask, didn't he? It's almost like you have like 3 things in the entirety of this hut. Yeah, this makes me think it's a memory of a past. But it's almost like you left, like, there's like 3 things in this entire place. It's crazy.
He must have taken his mask off. And
Have we ever officially seen what hilly churros look beneath? We know they wear the masks because of like this exact reason, but
we have to find him.
it was a kid. If you tell them not to do something, they're gonna do it immediately. Still, hopefully we can find him. But that whole mirror clue, like, I didn't even look at the mirror if we had the chance to see that it was not broken. Which makes sense, I suppose. That really does make me wonder if this isn't some kind of, like, past memory.
It's his scarf. He dropped it. Looks like we are going the right way.
I thought without the scarf it was nearly impossible to tell them apart.
Kari Bear! Kari Bear! Where are you?
Huh.
Curses! Forest rangers.
Hey, who are you? We haven't seen you around here before. What's your business here?
Are we about to pick a fight with forest rangers?
Have
We
you
know we'd
seen
win,
a,
but jeez.
Hilly churl? A hilly churl should have come past this way. Have you seen it?
I asked you first. Don't make this more difficult than it needs to be.
Why are you being so
said,
disagreeable?
Have you seen a hilly churl?
Oh,
Whoa.
jeez.
Look, sir, there's no need to get so worked up.
You're the one who came at him, to be fair, like...
Everywhere. What's the big
Jeez.
deal? We see plenty of them out here.
Exactly. Matter of fact, we just took out a few of them
Uh.
back there. Those dumb boneheads.
Uh-oh.
You Forest Ranger scum! You spawn of the 7 are all the same. I'll have your heads if you so much as
I mean,
laid a finger on Kari Bear.
We're just gonna scoot, like, eke past the
You're
fact
raving mad. You've got some
that
gall
we've
coming here
taken
from
out
our
so many
nation
hilly
and
churros, but
insulting
yeah.
the forest rangers.
Curse you all, Forest Rangers.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, you gotta calm down. I would say the fact that they don't recognize it at all, recognize the travel at
Why
all,
make such a huge fuss over a
really
few
does
hilly
lend credence
churls?
to the idea
Makes
that
no
this isn't the
sense.
present day.
You.
Because at this point we're
He
famous in
only just
Sumeru
regained
as well.
his mind. How could you do this to him? So tell me, Forest Rangers, did you really spare none of them? Did you really take out every last hilly churl you
Oh
saw.
my gosh.
Jeez, you're really not gonna let this go. Fine, you weirdo. If you must know, I happened to cross paths with a solitary hilly churl when I left the team to, use the toilet. I was frightened at first, but it didn't seem to have any interest in me at all. It was just bumbling along
okay.
in that direction. So I left it alone.
Yes. Wonderful. Wonderful. Let's go. We have to find him.
Wait, you're leaving? Even a thanks for the info, goodbye?
Yeah. I mean, it's really not their fault, but yeah, it's still kind of crazy. Oh, there he is. Turn off my E, just in case.
Cory Bear. Cory Bear, stop. It's me. It's Papa. Whatever you saw, it was all a trick, an illusion. I told you, we're in a fairy tale world now. Nothing here is real. Please, Cory Bear, come back. It's time to go back. Cory Bear?
Oh, that would be
How could this
unfortunate.
happen? He regained his mind. He must be able to hear me. Surely. Come, Cory Bear. We have to go home now. Papa's here
Yeah.
to take you home, all right?
Papa,
Okay.
Cory Bear,
Papa, I can't take it.
please, Cory Bear. It's my fault. I'm so sorry. If only I'd known.
It's all,
Oh no.
it's all too much. Papa!
It still didn't show us what was under the mask.
I see. I understand now. Finally, it all makes sense.
What makes sense? What happened? Like, I.
Aha! Traveler, you're awake. Finally, we
Why?
can rejoice together. Wait, no. Why am I still calling you Traveler? Oh, I have known
That-
your true identity for some time now.
Okay.
I suspected it was you from the beginning. I had to talk to you to be sure. Oh, of course you haven't. With your status, you can hardly be expected.
Is this
to
actually
know
the memory of the
all
Abyss Twin?
us. In any case, I've been using a fake name this entire time. Ida is the name of a servant I once had. My real name is Clotar. Clotar Albert.
Oh. Oh. Oh.
You saw it too, didn't you? Unmistakable. The power inside Cory Bear and the power of the one you
I'm gonna be
call
honest, I don't know if that was obvious to some people. I didn't see that coming.
It was one and the same. I am positive now. It's the power of the abyss, isn't it?
Yeah, probably.
At long last, I have seen it with my own eyes. That is no business of yours.
Weren't you just like... Okay.
A
Well,
sinner.
whatever.
Yes. Salvation for a sinner can only come from a sinner. Cory Bear did not deserve his fate, but now it's wonderful. He will be able to weave his own destiny anew.
What was his
Born
fate?
into abject sorrow, he shall now become the loom of fate.
Oh. Huh.
Sinister. Dangerous. Oh, I I never imagined that you, of all people, would deny the Abyss. How ridiculous! We once believed that you would bring new strength and hope to Conria. To us, you were the Abyss. A wondrous mystery far beyond our imagination and comprehension. And the one who controls the Abyss can control everything.
Really? Because the Abyss Twin doesn't ever do anything. Like, that we know of.
To take us there. But what did you bring us instead? Oh, Prince of Conria.
Okay, that looks like it is actually the Abyss Twins memories. Because with Lumine being the main character on this game save file,
Just call me.
then yeah, it's Ether. And we're gonna look at the mirror and it's gonna be Ether's face. Dang! Huh. Oh my gosh.
Traveler. Hey, Traveler. Traveler.
Huh. What a memory. Like, we've had some trauma, for sure, since Lumine entered Tevat. Seeing what Ether went through, or the Abyss Twin, you know, vice versa, that's crazy.
Oh, thank goodness you're awake.
But it was a memory.
I was worried sick. Traveler? Traveler?
The entire time when we were just sleeping there.
What happened while you were unconscious? I checked the ley lines nearby. It appears that the Abyss tampered with them, and they've been in turmoil ever since. Information and memories flow within the ley lines. What did you witness? You mean Clotar Alberich? After founding the Abyss Order, his faith in the Abyss led him to do a great many
And that's the
things.
experience that led him to
But
founding the
curse of
Abyss Order.
immortality continued to torment his body and mind. And in the end, neither his faith nor the Abyss he worshipped could save him. After 100 years, he lost his mind completely and was never seen again. Yet his dark
He was already
legacy
on
lived
that path, to be fair, right
The
then.
defiled statue that we encountered previously was just one perverse product of his use of abyssal power during his life. You could say that.
Yeah.
He wouldn't be the Abyss Order's prince otherwise.
I mean, seeing that kind of experience, though,
You have a troubled
you
look
know,
on your face.
like, we've witnessed,
What happened?
despite their struggles, you know, Nahida's tried to help people. A has kind of come out of her shell and is helping people. Zhongli and Venti live amongst their people. That might not have been the case when Ether traveled through Tevat, you know? That's pretty
So
crazy.
You saw his memories from centuries ago through your own eyes.
They weren't, yeah,
It all
whatever.
but defies
Semantics.
belief. Still, as I'd suspected, the notion of the loom of fate did indeed rear its head during that time. And it seems closely connected to Clotar Alberich's son, Caribert, and what happened to him. And yet your brother never breathed a word of this incident to me. I wonder, was that the moment that he decided to go down this path? Indeed.
Oh, yeah.
Clearly,
I was
this series of events sparked
really,
a
really
long
sad,
period of
actually.
deep contemplation. This was where it all began. What is it?
I mean, there's so much darkness in Tevat, like, in all honesty, that's always been the case. Even just in, like, the normal current day families. I mean, Euless family's one example of that.
What does that have to do with anything?
You mean here? Well, let's start digging.
You scared the Duke out of Paimon! did you rebury them yet?
A male and female skeleton
Oh.
buried together. Interestingly, the male skeleton appears to have been interred much later.
Oh.
And it's holding a silk scarf in its hand. But what
So
does
what
this
we thought
mean?
happened to Carrie Bear
And
did.
how did you know that there were
did happen.
bodies buried here?
Oh. Never mind.
That's impossible.
I guess the bones of Carrie Bear would have been that of, like, a
Unless-
Hilichurl.
Clotar Alberich finally found a way to rid himself of the curse.
But then who buried him? Would it have been the Abyss Twin?
This all raises far too many questions. I need time to think, and to search my memories for some missing pieces. We should part ways here.
Huh? You're just gonna leave?
Yeah, we really didn't do a whole lot. Like, in the long scheme of things, as far as Paimon and... Yeah, he always says no to that, by the way, Paimon. But as far as, like, his and her perspective in that, they literally... We had a conversation with Kyra at a bar. We showed up here, found nothing. Then the Traveler took a nap while he investigated some ley lines, and he came back. We had another conversation. Now he's sleeping.
We split up for now.
Like, Lamine here went through, like, a very long, like, experience, but still.
Yes. I have my suspicions as to his identity, but I need to confirm some other
You couldn't
details
tell us the
before I can be
suspicion?
sure.
Just throw us a bone?
If the time is right, I
Okay.
will tell you when we next meet.
Which I have a feeling will be after Fontaine. So probably in, like, a year.
How is that possible?
I fear that while these things would limit anyone else, they are no obstacle to him.
What? Why? What is he?
All right, let's leave it there. Get some rest. Goodbye.
Alright, bye! It was... Yeah, it's always fun talking to you,
There
Dane.
goes
Yeah,
Dane.
he just
Just
leaves.
Like that, it's back to being the two of us again, huh? What is it?
Aw.
Huh?
I should give her a hug. That's really wholesome. 6 complete Carry Bear, huh? Alright then. That didn't take as long as I assumed it would because it was only one act, so I guess we could start up like the Windbloom Festival. I will probably do the... I don't know if it'll be tomorrow or in a few days. I have like a phone call interview about, about a college thing I was looking at doing. On Monday. But we could maybe start out that. So there was an initial conversation that I admittedly wasn't paying attention to because I was in a Discord with some friends. But there was like an initial conversation about the Windbloom Festival starting. We could go through here. I'm surprised to see Kale in Mondstadt. I hope she gets to see Amber. That'd be really, really wholesome. You were really looking forward to it when like Lisa showed up in Sumeru.
Oh. Hey, you guys. What are the chances? You were staring into space just now. Something the matter? No, don't worry. I'm fine. I was just looking at a Mondstadt children's book in the souvenir shop over there.
Okay.
While I was flipping through it, a piece of paper fell out. The writing on it was really mysterious. Almost like a prophecy. If you can do these things, you may light the lantern of utmost joy and receive a supreme blessing. And what does these things refer to?
Is it the event task that we get
Flower
Primo Gems for?
That is not of this world. Find a guide who will never get lost. Find one who would never lie. Find a legend that never ends. So, 4 things in total. Here, have a look.
Well, a guy that never gets lost, I'm assuming is probably going to be Amber,
I
no?
asked the lady who owns the store about it, but she said that she didn't know anything.
Seems
about
like it's almost like a little
Windbloom.
Windbloom like riddle they do for children, you know? Oh, hi Sucrose. We did talk to Sucrose, I think,
Hi
at the
there.
beginning.
Sorry to butt in, but what's the name of that storybook you just mentioned? Oh, it was called The Boar Princess. That is strange. I've read that book, and it sounds like that note you found has no relation to the story at all.
I mean, Kale didn't meet a lot of people in Mondstadt when she's here. I know she specifically says she didn't meet Fischl. Yeah.
Let Paimon do the honors. Kale, this is Sucrose, an alchemist with the Knights of Favonius. And Sucrose, meet Kale. She's a trainee forest ranger from Sumeru's Avidia Forest. Hello. Hi. This is getting awkward fast. You're both so shy. So, Sucrose, what are your thoughts on this prophecy? Could it be real? Without having done any research, I couldn't comment definitively. But if you want my subjective opinion, I don't think that it's a nasty prank or anything. The only people who read children's books are those with a childlike wonder and imagination.
Or children, of course, yeah.
Or children, of course. I'm sure that whoever put this prophecy there would understand that. Would they really do this just to spread lies and ruin someone's innocence? I can't imagine anyone being so cruel.
Yeah, let's go with that.
That's a great take. I love it. Exactly. Who would want to hurt a child's feelings? Okay, so what do you think the blessing is, Sucrose? If I had to guess, maybe a fairy that can make people's wishes come true or something? I haven't read many fairy tales, so this is pure speculation, with no other information on hand or prior research to compare against. I'm afraid it might not even be worth considering. Wow! Her guesswork is really good, though. I want to pick her brain some more. But will she find it annoying if I keep asking her questions?
I'm sure it'll be fine.
After all, what's the best thing to say to someone you're meeting for the first time? Well, yes. I mean, if possible. Then, what would you wish for, Kale? I'd wish for
I think you have a fine personality, Kale.
a better personality. Huh? You can't waste it on that. You've got a great personality already. That's very kind of you. But if you know me like I do...
Don't worry, Kale, I read the manga. There's just a lot going on. Oh, there she is.
That voice. It's...
I was wondering.
Kale! You made good time, huh? You're way earlier than I expected. I spotted your green hair way off in the distance. Good thing my eyes are sharp, or I'd have missed you. Amber! Have you been doing well? Did you finish all the pita pockets I brought you last time? You bet. They're getting yummier each time you make them.
Funny thing is, like, the one person she knew that she was still a little bit nervous around is Kaya,
Have you picked them on
who, based on when we did the story, is in Sumeru. Well, Kale from Sumeru is here.
A long time ago?
You'd have to imagine for
I had a
Windbloom
lot
Festival,
of
though, he'll
help
be
from
here.
A lot of people here in Mondstadt.
Just odd
So
timing
ever
on an
since
event.
my Alizar got better, I've been looking out for an opportunity to come back to Mondstadt and tell them all the news that I've been cured. Thanks.
If it's okay with everyone, why don't I take Kale for a walk around town? I'd like to show her some of the places she didn't get to see last time.
Of course. Fine by me. Sure, go right ahead. Sorry, Amber.
Oh,
I agreed to meet my traveling companions by the city gate in a few minutes, so...
traveling. Did she come here with Tainari?
Oh, that's all right. In that case, you guys go rest up, and I'll go see Master.
There's
Yi
only
and
so
ask
many
for some
people from
time off.
Sumeru that we've met that could be here.
Okay.
Well, with everything going on in Sumeru too, none of the higher ups, like
Traveler
Alhaitham's
Sucrose,
probably busy and
could
such.
you look after Kale for now?
Like, I'd be really shocked if like
I'll get her
Alhaitham
later and
and
take her out.
Sino showed up.
There's still a whole bunch of people I need to introduce her to.
Sure, no problem.
Awesome. See you later then.
And there she goes.
You alright there, Kale? You look kinda disappointed. I'm sorry. I'm just feeling a little shy today. Don't worry about me.
Okay.
Amber wants to introduce me to more of her friends. Am I gonna be able to cope? I've only met Sucrose so far. I'm already struggling to make conversation.
I'm sure it'll be
I wish
fine.
I had a little more self-confidence. Then I'd find it much easier to make friends with people. It's nearly time! Let's go to the gate and see if they've arrived.
Oh. So, if they've arrived, then she didn't travel here with them. Huh. Okay, oh, Sino did show up. I assumed all the higher ups from
Why is this humble
Sumeru would
window
be
such a great view?
busy with the Reformation of Sumeru, but
It must have been
still.
a long time since you last came to Mondstadt.
Oh, Sino's been to Mondstadt. That's
Because
surprising.
it is the true great Vayu Viastra.
Tainari's just gonna strangle him.
Oh, come on. Don't tell me you don't get it. View, Vayu, and also Mahamatra, Vayu Viastra. No?
Tainari! Sino! Over here!
Whew, am I glad to see you. And who's this young lady?
Master, this is Sucrose, an alchemist with the Knights of Favonius. We just met. Sucrose, this is my teacher Tainari. He's a highly respected forest watcher in Sumeru, and he's also a very famous botanist.
Kale's exaggerating. I'm Tainari. Pleased to meet you.
So you have a teacher as well. The pleasure is all mine, Tainari, sir. Yep, he's extremely knowledgeable too.
Based on this conversation, I'm assuming Albedo comes into play. We get to hear good old Koi Dao.
He's really famous in Sumeru as well.
Greetings. Though if I might say so, we're purely here for personal reasons. You needn't be unduly concerned with our official positions. And Kale, there's no need to use my full title. Sino is fine. Or sir, if you absolutely must.
Indeed. We're not here in an official capacity. Just to keep Kale company on her vacation.
Keep me company? But it was you that insisted on coming.
She just calls them out.
Kale is very important to us. We felt obliged to ensure her safety on the long, treacherous journey to Mondstadt.
I mean, you do have to go through the
I've been here
chasm.
on my own
And,
loads
like,
of
dragon
times
spine and everything.
before.
Aw.
What about your work, though? What if something bad happens while the General Mahamatra's away?
There should be no issues. I have left my duties in the hands of my subordinates, and 2 especially reliable helpers.
Oh, Sucrose.
Oh, okay.
What were you saying about you having a teacher as well? I was just
When he says
going to
2
mention
reliable
that
helpers, I either think Dehya and
you're
Candace,
in a
or I think
somewhat
Alhaitham and
similar
Kave.
situation.
And Alhaitham and
I'm an
Kave always
assistant
fight.
to Mr. Albedo, Mondstadt's genius alchemist.
Oh, please, Sucrose.
Oh, there he is.
Genius is an unnecessary epithet. It will serve only to leave an exaggerated impression of me in the minds of our guests.
Mr. Albedo, but it is an objective truth. Hey, Albedo's here too! Great! The more the merrier!
I like how much these events bring together a bunch of characters, though. It's always fun.
So tell me, Sucrose, since your specialty is bioalchemy, what do you know about the antitoxic properties of the calla lily?
Wait! Can we hold off on the nerdy topic
Paimon.
for now? Paimon doesn't want to be left out! Oh, as it happens, I've studied the calla lily in quite some detail before, with it being a species native to Mondstadt. I wrote a whole report on my findings. If you're interested, Mr. Tainari, sir, I can go get it for you.
We're supposed to be here on vacation, and you're already thinking about how to improve your herbal medicines? Also, I thought we'd agreed to take on new identities.
I was
for
wearing
this
like an
trip.
Anubis themed like giant headdress.
Mine was Adventurer Sino, Desert Explorer. Tainari's was Technological Consultant to the Treasure Hunters. And Kale's was
Oh my gosh.
Traveling Musician.
Technological consultant to the treasure hoarders.
Very much so.
He finds it very fun.
I wish some of the less cautious adventurers in the Avidya
Oh my
forest
gosh.
would consider coming to Mondstadt instead. What Philanimo mushrooms lack in texture, they make up for in not causing vomiting or diarrhea.
Oh my god.
Are you contemplating using some compounds from the calla lily as active ingredients in a targeted antidote?
Yes, I gathered a few on the way here, and my initial research suggests to me that it could be worth a try.
Okay, I got it. But as much as I don't wish to be a wet blanket, it takes a huge amount of experimental data to conclusively prove how different drugs interact. Estimating the total development time would be very difficult. Add in the time for procurement and delivery of essential materials, And I'm not sure if we could complete development before you need to return.
Meanwhile, Beto's just
Then
drawing.
please, allow me to help.
Mr. Albedo.
Apologies for my tardy entrance in the present discussion. I understand you're looking to make an antidote for poisonous fungi, correct? If you happen to have some samples with you, or relevant documentation on hand, perhaps you might give me the chance to review them later. But before that, I invite the three of you to look at this.
Oh, it wasn't drawing. He was making like a. Oh, okay. Huh.
Food and lodging arrangements? Were you quietly writing this up the whole time? Paimon didn't even notice.
Hardly.
Well, they need some place to stay.
Rather, I should apologize for interrupting a serious discussion between trained professionals, especially after they've traveled so far.
Oh my
to be
gosh.
here, when I myself
He's playing
am
along with
neither
it.
an adventurer, nor a technological
Just the
consultant,
most deadpan, like.
nor a musician. Nevertheless,
Just gonna play along with it.
I would encourage you to have a knowledgeable local arrange your detailed itinerary while you're in Mondstadt. Take a look. And should you find anything here to be objectionable, it can easily be adjusted.
This is too kind of you. These arrangements are quite excellent.
It looks great! Even Paimon feels like tagging along for the food and board. That's why it's
Yeah.
called tagging along.
Yeah, it's fair enough.
Very comprehensive. The adventurer, technological consultant, and musician on the proof. Thank you.
Just one thing. We'd like the chance to cook as well. Why don't we change the group dinner to a camping and cooking trip?
I'll help pitch the tents. I can help too. And Paimon will take her to Good Hunter to order some starters. Mondstadt's cold cut platter is not to be missed.
Great, then it's decided. Sucrose and I will bring the three of you to your inn for a quick rest. You two, let's meet by the lake this evening.
Yeah, Windbloom Festival is one of the events that tends to have a lot going on in it. I'm curious how long this questline actually is. Because it looks like we get... I did see that we get a new Claymore. I don't know what it does. So it's an EM Claymore. It's interesting. Elemental skill has its attack and element is increased by 12% in 4. That's not bad. With a refinement, which is usually free on these, that's a decent amount of EM and attack percent. I'm curious though what Claymore user you'd realistically be using that on. I wonder. Could even be like an upcoming weapon. It would not be the first time that we've gotten like a quick weapon that could have been used on a character that came in the future.
Hey Sarah, can we have a cold cut platter to go?
Sure, coming right up. Would you like anything else?
I just realized her name's spelled the same as Kuja Saris. I wonder if that's why they call her Sarah and her Sarah.
Yay! So you do remember after all! You're just the best! Paimon will give you the sweet flower from that sweet madame as a wind bloom.
Okay.
No need to worry about that! Paimon can make room for good food.
All right, just a moment.
Oh my gosh.
That was great. If that was a Windbloom treat, then Paimon wishes it could be the Windbloom Festival every day.
Alright then. Where's the camping site? It's just over there. Okay. This area reminds me of, I don't really do it anymore, but when I used to come out here, I'd just farm these dandelion seeds. I probably should every once in a while still, but when I'm farming mats, what I'll usually do, like I did this a lot with like the Nylopalata lotuses and such, is I'll just pick a couple easily accessible areas and then I'll just log in every few days when they respawn and collect them. It's not like the fastest way to do it. It's probably what I'll do with Dehya, which is why it'll probably take me a month or two to actually get her fully ascended and everything. but it's a lot easier on my sanity than to try and find a full-on map and find like every single like lotus and stuff. Like here, I'll jump off this cliff, grab the ones in this water. I know there's some here. For some things, like the lotus is on the side of the cliff. There's like 4 here. I think like 3 or 4 here too. Just makes things easier. Like actually, funnily enough, I was only able to upgrade Aqua Simulacra to I think it was 80 until literally like 2 days ago. And what I was doing was I was just going straight to the boss fight in not Academia. This boss fight here. There's one of the little black knights down here. And you need like 27 of those purple ones for the last ascension, so I do that. Just interesting stuff that kind of works out in a neat way.
All right. Looks like we're all here.
Not at all. We just came early to set everything up, since we happen to be free today. Kale put up the tent so quickly, but still managed to tie very sturdy knots. You can really tell that she's a professional. I didn't do much apart from passing materials around.
Thanks. It's all thanks to Master and Sino. They taught me everything I know.
What can I say? For a skilled adventurer, this is just another job.
You are finished. Or we're going to sing each other's praises till the moon rises. Come on.
He's like super. Granted, like Sino might not seem it, but he's one of the guys that's like super into Genius and Vacation TCG. Like, it's kind of funny though that he's into the roleplay.
That sunshine sprat was really very good. I didn't watch you cook it, but I believe that the prominent umami flavor of the dish owes itself to more than the fish alone.
That's correct. Any further deductions?
So it must be Albedo's signature dish.
The aroma was quite uniform. Unlike that of a spice blend, it was also unfamiliar to me. So I would venture that it was a Mondstadt specialty. As far as edible Mondstadt plant species are concerned, calla lilies are usually used in soups. So if I had to guess, small lampgrass?
Oh.
That's right.
Is that why we use these for like
I've long heard
Ascension?
that
Doesn't
Sumeru's
D-Luke
fish
use
with
small
cream
lampgrass?
sauce
Does he
is
just
noted for its
consume
gentle
like 60 of them when you
texture, which brings out the tenderness of the
when
fish.
you make him stronger?
Here in Mondstadt, we're not quite as varied in the use of spices as in Sumeru, but the principle of bringing certain distinct flavors to the forefront through combinations of natural ingredients is very much the same.
Yeah, we call that
I
cooking.
liked it a lot. I'm curious as to the exact ratio of ingredients.
I'll write a copy of the recipe for you.
Would anyone like to try the nutrient-dense meal I made?
I'll have some.
What about you, Kale? It doesn't look like you've eaten very much. Is your appetite low at the moment?
No. I just don't eat a lot normally.
Oh,
Sorry. I didn't mean to make things awkward.
Tainari,
I don't think that's what happened, but
while we were on the road, we spotted something white, walking on 2 legs. Was that Paimon?
Which day was this?
he's not even sure what he's talking
Just
about.
after passing through Stonegate.
Sino, are you sure your eyes were
White
working
walking
that
on
day?
2
Or
legs.
your
Maybe it was
eyes
Cloud
were
Retainer.
blocking your vision. Paimon always flies. There's no way she
Well,
doesn't.
Cloud Retainer also flies, I suppose.
Is that right? I thought that you'd made me snacked on too many local ground nuts.
Oh.
No? Ground, you know.
Yeah.
As in ground up, but also the ground. Ground nuts make you fall to the ground.
Think
Oh
of
my
this
gosh.
as part of the process of getting to know Sino. The bright side, these jokes show that he thinks of you as his friends.
Still, we could test the hypothesis
That he thinks he's your friends?
that plant species
Oh, okay.
indigenous to Mondstadt may have an effect on the motor functions of flying life forms.
Hey!
Oh.
Paimon's not your test subject! Anyway, by your logic, wouldn't that mean that eating, say, Zaitun peaches, that would make us sick Paimon peaches?
Because Ito calls her a lavender melon.
Hey!
Jeez.
Not you two!
I think the Traveler and Paimon's conversations are more entertaining.
Oh,
than
she's
Sino's
throwing
jokes.
shade at Sino for fun.
I see. You must have been keeping quiet about this grievance for quite some time now.
You seem much cheerier now that you're here at Mondstadt, Sino. Actually, feels like you're a completely different
Yeah, it
person.
doesn't have to be the General Mahamatra here.
Because I'm Sino the Adventurer.
Yeah.
It's not?
In fairness, you only saw him in his work mode while you were in Sumeru. He's actually like this most of the time when he's in a good mood.
Yep, it's
Sino is one character I'd consider maybe rolling for on his rear, depending on when it comes. I did do one pity on Wanderer too, but
I understand.
unfortunately didn't get him.
Then allow me to reintroduce myself. Before, you knew me as General Mahamatra.
Oh my gosh.
Now, please see me as Sino the Adventurer.
Same about characters though, like Albedo
Yeah, so that's another thing
and
he
Sino that
does.
just
He'll keep repeating
say stuff
something
like
he
that
thinks
though,
is funny until you
in the
stop
most
trying to
monotone
resist.
voice.
So
Makes it
you
even
have
funnier
two
to me.
different mental states,
Oh.
almost like different phases of matter.
And Sucrose takes it seriously.
I want to learn to do that too.
I think in your case, the two states we would end up with would be
Albedo.
conscientious sucrose and stupefied sucrose. Oh, well, by the way, was there any reason in particular that you chose Mondstadt as your destination on this
The
occasion?
Windbloom Festival.
Oh, well,
Right?
Lisa
Yeah.
once told me that the Windbloom Festival is one of Mondstadt's biggest events of the year. I wanted to take this opportunity to give everyone a Windbloom as a token of my heartfelt gratitude for everything they've done to look after me.
That's really wholesome.
Plus, it was a good chance for Kale to get out and meet some new people.
Kale Lily. Kale's Windbloom.
Oh no.
Maybe she should call it a Kale Lily. It sounds very Mondstadt. There's also cauliflower, which would technically make more sense. But somehow it doesn't sound as nice.
Moving swiftly on.
Oh my gosh.
He just completely ignored the joke and carried on
The reason this is so funny to me
Guess sometimes that's the only way forward.
is this is basically what happens every other day on my Discord. Like I've talked about it, like the whole Myers-Briggs things, like feeling like, in terms of like general personality, in a non-flattering way, the character that reminds me the most of myself in Genshin is actually A. But you have no idea how many pens I've made that have just made my friends so angry. I can't remember which one I made the other day, but I just remember I said something while we were playing. I think it was Baldur's Gate. It's like a D&D game. But I just made a pun that was so bad. It was so bad, but it was so funny. And you just hear me make it and then start laughing, and the entire rest of the Discord, like 5 other people, are just dead silent. And then the only thing I hear is the Discord disconnect sound. Oh man, but I've made some good ones. Like I enjoy them. I think my favorite one was I was just sitting in back when I was doing anatomy and physiology for a college course. My friends were just sitting there playing League, just having a terrible time. They're like trying to kill the Fed Vayne on the enemy team, talking about how she has too much peel. All you hear is me unmute my mic, lean really close into mine, and just go, I bet they really like bananas. Because they have a lot of peel. It's so funny every single time, but it always makes them so angry. Oh, good
Sumeru's
times.
been through some major changes
The
recently,
best.
and things at work have only just started to calm down. I don't get many opportunities to take a vacation, and this was a
Jeez.
chance to join Kale on her trip while also learning a
Oh,
few
that really
things
got
about
me.
Mondstadt's flora and fauna.
The Kale
that I'll
Lily
be
and the
able to pass on to my
cauliflower.
peers and students on my return. Two birds with one stone.
Yeah, there you go.
You, Sino?
I came to ensure Kale's safety.
Wasn't he the one way back when who came to pick her up?
Plain and simple.
Oh, she called him out again.
Also, there's the matter of a genius
Oh.
invocation TCG custom card back.
Oh my
They
gosh.
have an ulterior motive.
I mean, wasn't it?
Have
Didn't it
you all
begin in
played
the
Genius
Catskill?
Invocation TCG before?
Yeah, let's just straight up lie. Yeah.
And that is why I am proud to be my friend. When I
Nice.
first began contemplating getting a new card back,
I'm like level 9 right now. I'm
I
not very
asked
good at
around
it.
Before eventually
I
deciding
just
to
unlocked
ask
Eula.
the legendary
Just
Mr.
that.
Kaltz for guidance. A friend of
Oh.
mine, Sawada, whom I played cards with on occasion, had been to Inazuma for the
Is he aware
Irodori
that Kaltz
festival.
is albedo?
He told me that Kaltz was a Mondstatter, so I should try my luck there.
House? Isn't that...
Are we supposed to just be spreading around Albedo's pen name?
He's a friend of yours?
I see.
Yeah.
So, you came to Mondstadt in search
Kind of
of
defeats the purpose of a pen name when he's been to like Inazuma
That
and
is
found out and all
inaccurate.
that stuff, but...
I came here principally to protect Kale.
You most certainly did not.
Yeah.
Kale's been here on the quiet numerous times, and this is the first time you felt the need to join.
Not only me, same applies to you too, doesn't it?
If my writer friend were here now, I'm sure he would describe this curious coincidence as having the makings of a good story. It's always a pleasure to meet a fan.
Oh, there you go.
Oh, here it comes.
Wait, you mean you're Mr. Kaltz?
Yeah.
Having my new friends address me by my pen name feels somewhat unusual. Please, just call me Albedo.
Huh. So you're Calx. Sino's been talking about you non-stop recently.
Oh.
He's intent
I mean,
on
he does
getting
have a
you to
card
design
in
a
Genius
bespoke
Invocation
card
TCG.
back for him.
You didn't have to say all that.
I don't usually take private commissions, but I believe that we are friends now.
Oh, there
all
we
of
go.
us. Our conversations have been deep and interesting. And Sino, your passion for this game is indeed one of a kind. I can see it in your eyes.
Obviously.
And given that you've come all this way from Sumeru to see me, I'd be quite honored to take this commission.
Wow, your teacher's so nice.
Yeah, minus the fact that he had an evil clone that tried to kill us at one point. But that's
Well,
that's
they
besides the
definitely
point.
have different personalities, but they're similar when it comes to their character.
So, how much should I budget for the timeless masterpiece you will produce for me?
Surely timeless masterpiece is something of an overstatement.
Any artwork fit to appear on the reverse of my card decks is by definition a timeless masterpiece.
He's not even making a pun this time. You
Even
don't
if
have to
I
give him
say
that
so
look.
myself.
Don't mind him. These TCG nut jobs are all like this.
I actually really do enjoy Genius Invocation TCG.
I see.
The one issue is it's one of those
So,
game modes that like you have to sit down. It
This
feels
has
like
an
for a lot
almost
longer than you
religious
think.
Significance.
But I used to play like MTG.
Well, for
Those games
starters,
take a long time too.
I'd like to hear a few more of your jokes.
My jokes? You like them?
He's like shocked.
I do.
Really? I didn't see you laughing.
Yeah, well, the joke's ability to induce laughter is a separate matter, but I certainly find them fun.
If I might interrupt, does anyone else smell something strange?
Oh, did Sucro start cooking something? Is that what she was
My
doing?
nutritional meal. Will it be okay? Should we go over and take a look too?
Yeah, I don't have Albedo, but I assume earlier they were talking about his like signature dish.
Good thing Tainari's nose is so sharp. Has he been in this kind of situation a lot before?
I know, it's just... I'm sorry to disappoint Sino. I guess we'll have to do this again another day.
Okay.
Yes. I'm not sure if you've noticed.
Doesn't she do like a crab and veggie bake, I think, specialty dish?
Depressed. I noticed she was in a low mood when everyone was talking.
She probably just wants to hang out with Amber.
Remember that note she received?
Oh,
I
that
was
too,
just
yeah.
thinking, I want to try solving this riddle and giving Kali the chance to accept the blessing.
Oh, yeah!
She's right there. She can probably hear you, you know.
Exactly.
That's
Maybe
one thing
she'll
about
be
game
willing to
logic.
move into my
We
test
took
tube.
2 steps to the right, and now we're gonna have a
Anyway, I can
conversation
wait.
about someone.
As much as I'd like to make progress in my research, I'd prefer to see her smile.
What?
Alright, we'll help out you.
Well, then if you were still standing over there, you'd be fine.
You will? Then tell me, honestly, do you think that this prophecy is for real too?
My first thought would be, if I know how we can find out, let's just go ask Mona.
Right. Let's meet at the alchemy crafting bench in the city. I've got some thinking to do in the meantime. We're back.
Oh.
Oh, what a shame. You just missed a joke about windmills.
Stop, please. I don't need to hear it a fifth time.
As the Valley of Ostra.
That bad, huh? Well, now Paimon really wants to hear it for some reason.
Didn't you say you want to see the Dragon of the East at some point? When are you going?
Tomorrow morning. And you? What are your plans?
I'll go into the mountains to have a stroll and collect a few plants as samples.
Oh, perhaps I could join you? I'll be looking for inspiration for these card back illustrations.
Found you.
Oh, hey, it's Eula. Oh, is this where we get all the
I
memes about,
As soon as I saw the fire.
There have been so many memes about, like, Eula being Amber's best friend and Kale being Amber's best friend. Huh. I mean, that's one of the ones that have been kind of people in the community have talked about, next to the fact that everyone is convinced that Yelan and Shenhe are somehow very best friends. Even though they'd never met each other in game. As far as we know, I suppose. It's one of those lore-wise they might have just met in Leva, but I really like those comments, so they're really wholesome.
Wow, you have really sharp eyes.
That's an outrider for you.
Uh-oh. Did we break the fire safety rules or something?
There are campfires all over everywhere, and they're right next to the water.
Actually, you didn't. Strictly speaking, you should have reported your plans first. But since two of our very own alchemists are here, I'm happy to look the other way.
Never realized how much taller Eula was than Amber.
Yes, introductions. I'm Amber, and this is the Reconnaissance Company Captain Eula, a good friend of mine.
Hi, Eula.
Good evening. You are friends of Kale, yes? A pleasure to meet you.
Did Eula meet Kale in the story?
Oh, Amber
The manga?
and Eula. The pleasure is ours. I've heard a lot about both of you from Kale.
Oh, really? All positive?
I remember she met Kaya, Lisa,
That
Jean.
last time too. Of course it was positive.
I'd have to reread the manga.
We hear the latest news about you every time you write to Kale.
Glad to know we've made a good impression so far. Anyway, we're just here to collect Kale, so don't let us interrupt your chat. Come on, Kale. We're gonna take you to check out a few scenic spots.
Okay, great.
Still as high energy as always.
You know Amber?
I mean, there's all sorts of little
Yes,
things, like,
we've met.
I think it was Eula knowing
She's
Yonfei.
Kale's most important friend. And for that, we are also very grateful to her.
That's Amber for you. Her outgoing personality means she can make friends with just about anyone.
That might be what she's talking about with wanting a new personality. Oh, poor Sucrose.
It's getting
But,
late, and we still have a lot lined
because
up
Kale
tomorrow.
really looks up to Amber.
I suggest we all head back and get some rest.
All right, I'll start packing up.
That was a little bit of a sad moment for Sucrose, but...
You're gonna get the tone-deaf bard to check out that note,
Oh.
aren't you?
That also works, I suppose.
Guess Paimon knows you pretty well, huh?
I mean, my guess was,
Him. He should
you know,
be hitting the
Mona,
target
but still.
down this time. We can go corner him and make him answer our questions. Let's move.
I always forget that you can go in the side gate, actually. Mostly because I never take it. Because it's right by, like, the Mondstadt commissions, and I haven't done Mondstadt commissions in a short eternity. I guess I could be doing them, but it's easiest to do, like, bounties for weeklies in either Sumeru or Inazuma. Because you don't have to do the tracking thing.
Paimon called it tone-deaf bard drinking as usual. Put your drink down and get your game face on. We've got some important questions for you, mister.
Okay.
He is not. Is he sober enough to answer a question?
So, what do you make of it?
Aren't you forgetting something? It's the Windbloom Festival right now. You can't just go around asking people for help so blatantly.
Oh.
Well, if you won't tell us the answer, could you at least tell us if this thing's worth a shot?
Sounds to me like you want a hint or two. A
Yeah.
fine answer. The person who wrote this prophecy is very powerful. If you manage to solve the riddle,
Did Venti write, like, these
they're
little
sure to
riddles and
happen.
put them in children's books?
Also, I happen to know where this lantern is. Once
sounds
you
like
found
something
the four
Venti would do.
things, I'll even write the location down for you. Isn't that generous of me?
Whatever. We weren't expecting much from you anyway. You can get back to guzzling wine and blowing wind now.
Okay.
Oh, woe is me. Paimon sees me as nothing more than a drunken wastrel. There are actually a great many things that we bards are required to do. And it just happens that enjoying life is the most important one. Once this is over, would you like to join me for a drink?
I thought Lumine
You
wasn't
know,
allowed to drink.
A favor for a favor.
Even though Lumine's like thousands of years old. This is actually kind of an in-depth story, like, for this event. We've had some before, like the one on both Golden Apple Archipelago ones.
Sucrose! We've got some good news and some bad news. Which would you like to hear first?
Let's have the bad news first, I guess.
Okay.
Huh? Really? Don't most people usually want to hear the good stuff first? Oh, alright then. Basically, we went to Windrise to divine the breeze. The wind said that the prophecy is real and that your idea is a really good one.
Yeah, that's what he said.
That doesn't sound like bad news. So what's the real bad news then?
He said the good news first anyways.
Paimon ate the bad news.
Oh my gosh.
Blame Sino. If it's not funny, then it's his fault.
Okay.
It's fine. Well, that puts my mind at rest. Now, back to the other issue I've been mulling over. I was thinking about the flower that is not of this world. It could mean a human-cultivated variety that doesn't occur in nature. But that's basically claiming that it doesn't come from this world in the first place, when actually it's just a variant of an
Yeah, I have no
existing
idea.
breed. So, the initial question is, can the flower's origins be traced back to a natural organism? If so, it cannot be correctly described as not of this world. But then, supposing we identified something outside of that category, whose job would it be to decide whether it belongs in this world or not?
This is
And the
getting really
question becomes,
philosophical.
Do of this world
For no
and
reason.
from this world mean the same thing? Or is it deeper than that?
Woo, woo, slow down. Paimon's head is already starting to spin.
Okay, I did have one other line of thought as well.
He did actually,
What
yeah.
about a flower created using alchemy? Would that be not of this world? Albedo may know the answer, but asking him right away would be like asking the teacher for the answers to your exam paper. It would render our search
Yeah, I
for the
suppose.
truth meaningless. I'd rather try and figure
But I
this
thought
out
the
for
point
myself.
was the end result, not that. I thought we were just trying to get the wish for Kale.
Oh,
That could be it too.
now that you mention it, that's definitely a possibility. The Windbloom doesn't refer to a specific flower. Everyone defines what it means for themselves.
Oh, Wimbloom not of this world, then it's Lumine.
The Windbloom doesn't exist in reality. This does seem like a promising direction. I've made a note. Okay, I better go read up on this.
Yay! Paimon was actually useful this time. Guess we have that sweet Vedanta thing, huh?
Oh my gosh. Even a broken clock is right twice a
I need
day.
some time to prepare. Could we meet up here in, say, 2 days' time?
How long is the Wimbloom Festival?
Fine. We'll also think about the other 3 riddles in the prophecy. But, since we're really going for this now, shouldn't we say something to Kale about it?
I originally wanted to leave it as a surprise for her, and I also didn't want to get her hopes up over nothing. But you're right, Paimon. I'll need to be careful how I word it. But I'll try to find some time over the next couple days to mention it to her.
Okay,
Alright.
that's nice of you.
Thanks so much.
I mean, regardless, it's not going to be something that just, like, instantly changes personality. That's not really how, you know, the world works. That being said, though, now we can actually do some of these events. We could maybe do some of these and switch out. So this has to be the, yeah, refinement material. That's interesting, some new furnishings. Are they just balloons that you hover in the air, weapon materials? You get a crown. That, yeah, nothing too bad. I really, 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 really hate farming this domain. Like, words can't explain how much I dislike farming the Mondstadt material domain. Anyway, let's see what we got. So, snapshots. Looks like it's taking pictures of something. Maybe. I do think that this... Oh. Oh, there's 3 more mini quests. I was gonna say, I think this event dropped just like a day or 2 ago. Like, it hasn't been out long enough that I think even the second part would be out. So I don't know if we'll finish this event on stream or anything like that. Most of these events I just do off stream, to be honest. Just because they do release in parts, but... Until I figure out whether or not I'm getting back into school or if I can find more employment, maybe that's what we'll do. Because I was actually planning on staying at the job I was working for a while. Because the initial program I was like, when I first started streaming last April, I was actually looking at doing a radiology technician program, and that wasn't for me. And I'm having a really hard time figuring out what I'm doing. Right now, the thing I'm looking to get in contact with someone on Monday about is actually cybersecurity. But we'll have to see.
Looks like the situation has changed.
Anyway. This is a music one, looks like. Oh, I think... I'd assume these mini events might be the ones that we've had before. This might be the one where you, like, use the keys. Oh, there's 3 different instruments. I want to make sure... The tuning phase, okay. Oh, lag calibration, okay. Okay, that's interesting. I actually like that idea. Especially on like mobile or something, that could actually really be helpful. Anyway, what have we got? Couple different... So it looks like the second part of this has unlocked. Unlocks in 10 hours. Let's do just the first one of each one, and then I'll probably do the second one off stream. Because I am planning on maybe playing some games with some friends tonight. I like this song, though. Let's just do... I think if you do Pro first, it gives you the opportunity just to do everything immediately. It is this one, okay. I actually really did like this one. Alright, so it's ASD JKL. Huh. I really like the music for these events. I will say, I don't know if it's just me, but I have a hard time when I'm playing on my PC, less on my phone, with the depth perception on knowing these notes. Yeah, I'm missing a few already. Because to me, it looks like some of these are going to different places. But I'm pretty sure that's just me being blind. I have terrible vision without my glasses. I can see, like, that was just bad timing. But it's funny, because, like, I used to be able to play over, I think I've mentioned this a few times, but I can play a ton of instruments. I only own a flute right now, but I used to be fluent in about 20. Which isn't as crazy as it sounds. Once you've learned, like, your second instrument, learning, like, your 5th or 6th is much easier than learning your first. But, I can't play, like, Osu to save my life. I've tried, and I was really bad at it. Kind of goes to show that there's all sorts of music, all sorts of talents out there. I really enjoyed playing the French horn and the flute, though. I think were my favorite instruments. Tenor sax is fun. Played a bit of baritone trombone. Didn't enjoy the trumpet as much. I'm not as familiar with string instruments, though. Piano's always really difficult. Yeah, but that was a fun song. Hopefully I didn't need 4,000 to get the top. Yeah, we got 3-star. But I actually really like that event. And luckily it does seem like you just get... If we do it on Pro, we don't have to do the other ones. Nice, nice. I'm a big fan of that one. So we also have Ballads of Breeze. Never mind, we apparently went to a different one. Did I talk to the wrong person? Could have sworn that was talk to Fastbin. Oh, okay, it was just in the same place. Alright, so this one is... Photo taking, yeah. That's what I was confused too. I was like, wait a second, was that a picture of a camera? So it's a special camera? Or... Okay, so check photo taking location. So first up is the photo of the main gate of Mondstadt. One photo taking point must include the character. Okay. I do like that they give you just a straight up, like, waypoint for these. Because in theory it shouldn't be too difficult, but then it's sometimes so specific on where it wants you to be that it's kind of annoying. Like here, you could take a photo of the gate of Mondstadt from either direction. Okay, we need to... Find those side-bit settings. Okay. There's definitely directions there that I might have wanted to read, but it'll probably be fine. Anyway. I thought we were supposed to take a picture of the gate. Oh, 18 to 17 o'clock. Yeah, I don't mind these, like, camera taking events, though. As always, it's one of those... You can't expect an entirely new... Oh.
Need me to come up with some for you?
You can't expect, like, an entirely new thing every single time, you know? Very nice. And then we could do the right... That, I mean, that's one of those you just do it once you understand. Wimbledon encounters, but I was curious. Yeah, so this unlocks tomorrow. Maybe we'll do this, so... Maybe tomorrow what we'll do, if... Depending. I should have time. And hopefully I'll be feeling well enough, because some mornings I still wake up just coughing real bad. Maybe we'll do, like, the Dehya character quest. The... Faruzan hangout. I usually do, like, the new hangout and character quest together. And then maybe after that, if we have time, we'll do the next part of Windbloom. Then this last one, it looks like... Is this a balloon one? Sorry, Nimrod. Yeah, it was this guy. Okay. Guaranteed romp, huh? Floral chess. Collect as many bloom blurrants in the chessboard. Okay. Instant collect bloom. Yeah, okay, it's collect blooms. You must avoid the balloons. Okay. Play it co-op. Yeah, we'll do the first stage. It's actually another fun event. They had a multiplayer one recently that I thought was a lot of fun. Where you'd like compete on Wave Riders. Not a biggest fan of Wave Riders, but like you'd compete on Wave Riders, get stuff. I think we might have actually streamed it. It was a good time. Collection range will be... I'm curious how the co-op version of this would go, but... I still think my all-time favorite one was definitely not Wind Trace, whatever it was called. Do not have to stand in this box? I'm confused. I wonder how many points you need to collect. Does this turn around? Oh! I thought it was going to turn around. Next area's been unlocked. I mean, do we need to...
Take it easy.
Grab all of these? As always with these events, I think it's worth noting that they'd have to be doable on mobile, but... It doesn't seem terribly difficult right now. I don't know what that golden towel is for. I'm a little confused about that one, actually. Oh, you run very fast now. I'll be honest, though, I don't usually go for, like, a perfect in these game modes. I just... Oh. Okay, so it's if you walk in the radius, not walk around it. That's good to know. I thought I could just walk around that. Turns out I'm just dumb. They're honestly not. They shouldn't be too difficult to do. But if they make, like, thin quarters that you can't get around it, the real problem will be if you run into, like, a bunch of dead ends. Or if you're dumb... sorry, an idiot like me. Try not to curse on stream. What's this do? Oh, it's the collection radius thing, isn't it? Unless... Oh, maybe it was... I'm a little bit confused. I probably should have read the rules to this... to this event, huh? I thought it said it increased collection radius. 61 out of... Oh, so we need 100 balloons. That might be the additional radius one? That's also not a big radius increase. Oh, that is moving very fast. You can definitely see where the balloons and stuff are on the mini-map. I just haven't really been paying attention to it. But yeah, the fact that the next area unlocks so quickly makes me think that you probably don't have to, like, it's probably just... Oh, Ring of Pursuit? I would assume it's probably just collect as many as you need to leave the zone. Opponents defeated. There's an opponent in there? Maybe what the left click was that it let you destroy the balloons. I really did not read the rules, if I'm being honest. But we got everything done, so you need at least 4,000, it looks like, every time. Shouldn't be too hard. That really does make me think you just have to go, oh, we got the... Oh. That was... faster than I thought. Well, anyways, guys, thanks everyone who stopped by or watched the VOD. I will try to get back into streaming a little bit more often, even if it's only 2-3 times a week, until I figure out what else I'm going to do. My health issues were just genuinely so bad that I was having a really hard time, even on the weekends. I was working, like, between travel time, the shift length, and everything, I was gone from, like, 10, 11 plus hours a day during the week, and then I was just exhausted. And on the weekends, too, I was just having such a hard time breathing. Ugh. I've been memed on by my friends so hard, they're like, because it's a tree allergy, they're like, yeah, imagine not even being able to go outside and touch grass when people say that. It is what it is. So hopefully I'll start feeling a little bit better recently. I've been taking like a medicated inhaler all week because I stopped working Monday actually. And it's getting better. So anyways guys, I will catch you next time.